Oh, my stream just... Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Oceanink Series stream. This is the first seeding of two. I'm Goy, joined by Hess on recording, though likely won't be speaking. We've also got Andrew and CalamarCat doing recording to help make sure that all the results are nicely analysed and all the seeding gets put in the right place. I'm going to close my window because someone wants to do gardening on a Sunday. That's fair. Give me a minute. Yeah. So first round's already been done. Just updates 3-0 Midnight to Atlantic, 3-2 Krillbill to Giga Squid, 3-0 Venomous to Walk the Plankton, congrats to them, 3-0 11k below to Nameless, and 3-0 to Gale Force and Team Returner. We're starting round 2 now, and we've got some really interesting matchups here. The first one is Walk the Plankton versus Nameless. Second is going to be Giga Squid versus Too Fast Too Woomy. Third is going to be Venomous Squids versus Atlantic. Fourth is going to be Gale Force versus Krillbill, and finally we're going to be ending with 11k below versus Team Midnight. I think I'm going to make the executive decision and say that I think Venomous Squids versus Atlantic should be a pretty good one to start this stream off with. And hopefully that's going to be nice and fun. Yeah, we'll probably have recorders on Gale Force Krillbill and... no idea what the third one is. Right, it was going to be Giga Too Fast to Me because new team. Yeah, my bad. Lots of Umis in chat. Very, very nice. Umi. Don't mind the stolen commentary. We've got to get all the lobbies set up and everything. True. I forgot team POVs are a thing. That would be nice. I'll definitely rewatch the I'll definitely watch the Midnight POV after this. That sounds like it should be a pretty fun time, especially with they've gotten 2 new recruits since last season. I think Juz might not be in the roster anymore. I believe they're busy with life, but they've taken up somebody had a name change. It used to be Poplio, but I forgot their current name, and. That's right. They also picked up Looney, who was on another team before that I'm forgetting the name of. Looney's a great player. I think it's going to be a lovely time watching Midnight in the series this time around. Hopefully, some lovely results from them. Oh, okay, yeah, Ashimari. That's right. That's what the name was. I knew it was something. I just couldn't get the name right. Thanks, Meows. Yeah, I don't have any, we don't have obviously any stats for the amount of teams that are up on the season yet because it hasn't technically closed until after this event will already be on. But I wouldn't be surprised if we're still growing in the amount of teams that are joining up to the series. Sorry about the incessant typing. There's a lot of things that we have to get sorted. At least it's a mechanical keyboard and not a laptop keyboard because it sounds slightly nicer when it's on the microphone. I guess we can get into the map lists. I don't have any stream view of that stuff, so I don't know. I might as well write it out though. Oh, this is actually going to be pretty interesting to watch then. TC Mako, Rainmaker, Humpbacks, Bloodzone, Shellendorf. Oh, that's going to be lovely to watch. Clamblitz, Inkblot, TC, Triggerfish. I almost wish I was playing in the seeding just so I could be playing this round. This looks lovely. Alright, looks like we haven't got much else. Oh yeah, the map list is there, my bad. Sorry if I stated a bunch. Wait, that's the wrong map list. Never mind. It's okay, we're getting it all sorted. Alright, there we go, right maps. I didn't realize that Atlantic had a... Oh, that's only 7 people, it's not 9. That's not ridiculous, but that's a lot bigger than I remembered them being. No, I can't really speak of what all the players are going to be pulling out here, but obviously it's a very slosher-friendly map with all the ledges, and given the fact it's TC as well, a lot of stuff that has AoE or any sort of ledge gimmick can be really quite strong in this map. Wouldn't be surprised if we see any of those weapons from the teams. Yeah, I have an idea. I have an idea on what you might be playing. All right. Yep. There's a slosher, and not anything on Venom's side, but that's okay. Just go. All right. Yeah. Nothing too special ability-wise, though. Obviously, Laloon on the ends up there with Object Shredder. Bit interesting. Looks like Venom is here. So far, same member count. Then looks like they're kind of just trying to keep the map control and turret control, but now he does go down to what I assume is the charger, because I'm on a bit of an unhelpful camera view at the moment. There we go. Yeah, it looks like Atlantic right now gaining the early mid control here. Now he's got the BR bomb thrown at them. Oh, does go down. Wasn't able to get out of the way in time now. Looks like they're going to have to try and mount the defense, hopefully fast enough now, because this map can get a bit snowbally if the attacking team gets some specials up. Oh, nice dodging there from Noah then. Meant that the bucket was nice and distracted here. Oh, wasn't able to get the pick onto Cozy, plus Dynamo being on the Ment. That was quite a lot more difficult. My bad, I'm having some issues. There we go. Alright, yeah. Looks like Atlantic here, still keeping the map control. Bread here gonna go for some fizzies onto the first checkpoint plat here. Combined with the Stingray, got an assist out of it. Very useful. They've already passed first checkpoint now. It looks like hopefully gonna be able to get to the second here. Bread just trying to make sure that they can get as many AoE chips here. Oh, the splashdown cancel from the BR bomb. That is pretty unfortunate, but looks like Venomous here might be able to get some control still once again. They're all kind of getting back into mid now. Prince on the left stack, Loon kind of on the right, and hopefully Cozy does take out the Loon there. Looks like they're trying to see if there's anyone else in the immediate area, but oh, Noah was there, but it looks like the pincer there from, I believe that was Tomio on the Dynamo, meant that Noah was going to stay down there. So Venomous Squids here currently having a lot of trouble making sure they can get back into mid here. Booyah bombs flying everywhere, but I feel like it just well, the Brella gets deployed here, but Crazy on the flank here means that yeah, Prince does go down. Second to last checkpoint, second checkpoint passed here. Venomous Squid's really struggling to just make sure they can actually get the control and get a foot in on their own so far. It's just not their turn yet. Hopefully they're able to kind of just get them. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Nari noticed our own charger and tried to jump out, but unfortunately wasn't able to back out in time and got caught out. It's quite unfortunate here. Link here with the armor tried to get a pick, but once again people up. Tomio does go down though, playing a little too aggressive against Noah. Splat bombs all it's going to take out a Dynamo that's out of position. Oh, and Bread, Noah went for the cancel there. Unfortunately, couldn't find it. Bread does go. K-Slosh, I can't remember the name right now. Sorry, I think it was Bread. They do go down though. But Venom is still having a lot of trouble with the mid control. I think it primarily comes down to the fact that the Sloshing Machine Dynamo combination that the Lantern is bringing out is just very, very capable here at being able to kind of just apply the pressure into mid and force Venomous out. As you can see here, Tomio taking out Naru here, just being able to go with the flying vertical onto them. Looking like Venomous is going to try and be able to get the mid control again. They've got another opportunity to, but without the kind of I'm not sure how to word this correctly, but I would say it's just Atlantic's weapon picks here are making them so much more versatile in the mid here, while I think that Venomous Squids are kind of forced to play a much more standard affair in terms of how they're playing, and it means that Atlantic here with the K-Slosh and the Dynamo, and also just with Cozy's really aggressive kind of playing here, means that the whole team is just able to kind of float around in mid and get the picks they need. Yeah, that's another 2v1. Cat gets stuck out after extending a little too deep in there, and with 20 seconds left, it's looking like Venomous Squids might be able to start their push now finally, but obviously Atlantic does have a Stingray user at the ready. Not to mention a Dynamo on a Sloshing Machine on first checkpoint is going to be quite a difficult thing to get rid of, so if they can get some Booyah Bombs potentially charged, that would help, but Naru's obviously got one out at the moment. It's going to be thrown towards first checkpoint, but it isn't able to actually do anything in my stream like that, so I wasn't able to see the overtime there. My bad, but I'm going to assume someone got on tower. I'm just guessing. Unfortunate game one there for Venomous Squids. That's obviously 1 point to Atlantic there. Very strong performance from them. Lots of synergy between the members in terms of pushing up together. Lots of good map control out of them. Made for a very, very strong game one for Atlantic. Hopefully Venomous Squids can turn this around the next couple matches as we go into a map that I didn't prepare on hand. There it is. It's going to be Rainmaker Humpback. This is certainly the kind of map where you can make some turnarounds, but it's also the kind of map that that Atlantic's kind of map control heavy comp that they brought out on Macromart could also wreak a lot of havoc on. So this could really go this could go pretty bad still for Venomous, but here's to hoping that they're able to get a nice win here, because Rainmaker can be quite a volatile mode after all. Yeah, as for weapon predictions, it's pretty much the exact same as the last one. Lots of with that, yeah. You might see a Splat Charger from, I believe it was Ray that was bringing it out on the Macromart match, so it might actually come out again. I'm not entirely familiar with all of the Ray's weapon picks, especially because they have quite a couple of them. But oh, I can type more intensely for you, don't you worry. I'm just going to write a test message in an empty Discord channel. What should I write on this? Thank you, chat, for all your kind messages. Let's get into game 2. Thank you, I actually wrote that. Alright, let's see what these weapons are. Alright, no Charger anymore. Switched over to Bullpoint. Bullpoint from Nero as well. Not to mention a double bucket comp coming out of Venomous. That's actually going to be the that's actually going to be pretty strong here. So yeah, looks like Pop's fairly contested here as though just kind of entering into mid pretty slowly. Venomous Squids does get the turf control from the Pop here, but I think that's Ray and Brett are kind of playing backline here. Brett does go down. Well, Brett's not playing backline though, sitting in the spot here. Atlantic actually does go 2 down here. Ray does go down. Nero's going to lead the charge, but Atlantic is now in the position to be able to stop the push now. And it indeed happened here. We're looking at the 2 buckets here from Venomous trying to kind of keep their presence and hopefully back out okay. Looks like they were both able to get out safely though, so it's going to be up to Atlantic now to be able to stop a 10 push, which it's humpback, so you can definitely make the comeback on this. But it's looking pretty difficult for them at the moment here. Noah does go down between a combination of the Rainmaker and the Dynamo here. Cat's going to try and go for what looks like a bit of a flank on the Rainmaker, but unfortunately was caught out here. Now you've got Naru, and they've pretty much used a lot of their specials so far. One Rain goes down. Ray's going to try and go for the push alone, but thankfully Naru on the ball point didn't end up leading the Platts, so was in a perfect position to be able to stop it. 35, definitely a push that that Atlantic can improve upon if Venomous isn't able to control the area and get them out. And considering they've got a Dynamo in mid here, it's going to be quite difficult. Luckily, from what I can tell here, Loon was able to get it out of their Plat, just keep it in a nice safe position here, to make sure the defense wasn't too overwhelming here. So Brad's going to pick up the Rainmaker, go for another push. They're on their own. They do manage to get taken out, but they do take out, I believe that was Naru alongside it, which is going to be quite unfortunate here, but luckily they're just outside of spawn, so should be back in by the time they can get another push going. And yeah, we're seeing Atlantic here just with the mid control here, all Venomous kind of stuck in their base here, but I understand why they really don't want to lose their base. Brad's going to pick it up right before it gets taken out here, and oh, they do go 2 down, but it looks like the Booler might. Yeah, the Booler forces them back out. That's a really, really smart play there with the Booler, because Venomous went 2 down with the Booyah Bomb, but the Booler meant it was staying alive. Now, Nero's going to try and go for the defense here with the Ballpoint. Luckily, Ballpoint has some of the most ridiculous range in the game, so it didn't matter how far away that Nero was able to catch right back up and stop that defense there. Stop that offense, rather. Gonna go for some turf control right now. Oh, nice pick there. Noel was able to spot the flanking Dynamo, which you'd hope you can spot a flanking Dynamo. Looking like Venomous here just going to try and keep this alive here. They are playing a pretty heavy defense game here, but with only 2 minutes left, they're going to be able to try for it here. Noah, oh, they do not manage to get the cancel here, but Noah going to kind of drop down, try and make sure all the turf here is under control. Looks like they're going to go for their own push on their own here, but Cat gets caught out between a K-Pro, I think it was, no, it wasn't a K-Pro, it might have been Tetra and Dynamo, my bad. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of Atlantic here ready for the push in. They've used a couple of their specials onto it now. They've got a push ready to go, but it doesn't look like they've got their members set up in a position where they can actually go for it now. Laloon just chilling on the Rainmaker podium, trying to get some impressive blob, lawful blob lobs onto the battlefield here. And it looks like Venomous is getting pretty close to their specials. Unfortunately, with the double rain composition, they don't have a lot of ways to be able to just keep them out of the offense, and it relies a lot more on kills here. The Booyah Bomb was wasted. I don't know if Venomous, it's all up to Nero to stop this push. Nero does stop it, luckily, but they are down. So it's going to be up to the rest of Venomous Squids to be able to play this cool as they're respawning in, but they're not playing, they're controlling it, Ray's going to get the picks though, but the Loon picks it up, lets it get reset into mid. Very, very close play there. Luckily, Venomous is going to keep their lead, but they're in a pretty rough spot at the moment. They don't really have their specials, and I think that was a DC from the Blob. I might be wrong, but that looks like a DC icon. Unfortunate, but it looks like... Oh no, wait. Yeah, that was. So with 30 seconds left and with the score counts like this, Venomous is not going to be able to use their free replay. Cozy's going to go for the push. I don't think... Are they going to be able to stop it? No! Just barely out of range, but that's what a DC does to you, I suppose. Very, very unfortunate here. Venomous played the defense for about 3 whole minutes there, and in the last minutes they get a DC, and the whole match just starts to crumble from there. That's really, really unfortunate. I don't think there's any other words for that. My bad for the incessant typing. Yeah, still one more game. Splat Zones onto Schellendorf. Game point for Atlantic, obviously. Likely wouldn't have been without the DC, but such is life. For what it's worth, the Rainmaker Humpback match still showed that it was a very, very close game between Atlantic and Venomous. So, despite the loss, it's still going to come up in the seeding, the results, and the way that the matches are looked at in that light. And it's not going to be as big of a disaster as you might assume. So, there's still a lot of positive ways you can take this. Sorry for the non-stop typing. I have a couple roles to juggle at the moment. Yeah. Splatzone Schellendorf, definitely a range game, for some people who might not have been playing the game a lot since the last season ended. Obviously, Schellendorf got renovated, and it is a much, much better map now, at least in my opinion. And it hasn't fundamentally changed on Splat Zones, but it is still a much funner map to navigate around, so it should be a fun time. Hopefully Venomous isn't feeling too nervous being down 2-0. Hopefully they're keeping nice and positive. Okay, Bread, I'm sorry to inform you, but you have a wrong opinion, so please remove it from this Twitch account. All right, we're seeing an Explosher and a Junior. Yeah, that looks like standard Splat Zone weapons here. Explosher isn't used a whole lot these days. It's still pretty strong though. Obviously, we're seeing Cozy here on the Cerebella as well. Interesting build from it as well. Prince does go down right away. You've got Noah on the side here, kind of isolated, I guess, going for a little bit of a flank, but all of Atlantic has that up. Oh, luckily Ray wasn't paying attention to the flank, so Noah gets a pretty good pick there. Does manage to take out, I believe that was the Junior as well. Oh, does take out Tomio as well. Noah going on a bit of a rampage here. Just completely securing the mid for Venomous for the time being then. Very, very powerful here. Cozy going to be forced to drop down onto the right. Does have a Bomb Rush, however. Might be able to deploy it, but it depends on this Brella fight here with assistance from Loon on the blob here. Oh, but then the Junior comes in from behind, keeps it nice and alive. The Bomb Rush is going to come out here, looking to try and control zone, but does get taken out from Nero here. He's going to hopefully be able to keep the zone under control. Painted, yes. Sub 50 on the Splat Zone here, pretty powerful so far. Looking like, oh, zone finally gets captured though, but not the worst penalty to go through, especially because at the moment still, Atlantic hasn't been able to set up a proper mid control, as Venomous is still heavily set up into their plat here, or their roof rather. Now we're going to try and just keep their roof under control here. Looking like he isn't able to quite find the pick onto top. Oh, never mind, I said it too soon. Barely in range here. Explosher onto the right, though, going to be quite difficult to remove for Nero, unfortunately. My bad for the lapse commentary there. Yeah, they're still managing to keep the zone under control, just between the intense amount of like control they have. No one does manage to get a pick on, I believe that was the Explosh, but might have been the Junior here. And Loon's going to try and just get some awful blobs out on the Brella, does manage to get the assist here. Dynamo on the roof though, with the Booyah Bomb ready, going to try and activate it here, see if they can get it onto the zone. Unfortunately, only just in the corner, not enough to really unstable the zone yet. To make the zone unstable. Tomio gets caught by the Rain Blob, and the ballpoint combo completely removes that from mid. And for what it's worth, Venomous has removed the... oh, very good pick there. Managed to take out Ray. Very, very unstable. I feel like Ray on the Blobber right now in a really bad spot. Does get the assist as well for the Brella Umbrella action there. Doing a really good job supporting the team right now. Cat's gonna try and hold the shield out. Doesn't manage to stay alive through it, but does manage to take Brett out of the situation. Very, very good, especially considering armor is going to be a great way for Atlantic to break back in here. So, with the penalty removed now, and Venomous looking very good here, Noah's going to throw it on the roof. Does manage to take out one with the Booyah Bomb. Takes out Cozy as well, but the Baller and the Bomb Rush is enough to disrupt the zone, even without a lack of members up. You've got 2 up from Atlantic on the right here, and it looks like Venomous is going to try and isolate them and take it out, but Cat's kind of left in a pretty vulnerable position against this duo team here, as Kaz is going to try and desperately build up some armor, but never mind, Noah comes back, takes out the both of them there. With pretty much Atlantic now, 3 down once again, only the Brella up, going to push in from the right by the looks of it, but Balloon sussed it out by the looks of it. Hopefully doesn't get taken out here though. Asking for assistance does get taken down here. Nero hopefully going to be able to provide the assistance that Laloon wanted. With only 14 seconds left now, 3 down once again. Atlantic is completely struggling right now. Only Dynamo left up. They have no means of being able to access the zone. 5 seconds left. I don't think they can cap it in time. Complete knockout, complete swamp out. Venomous Squids there, amazing performance. Completely locks out the entirety of the mid. They don't have constant control of the zone, but they had constant control of the map, and Atlantic was just squeezed right out of mid. Complete knockout for Venomous Squids. Absolute great performance there. Just the way they're able to respond to each other and keep the map under control and make sure that anytime they needed assistance in mid, you had Laloon or Noah or Nero just swoop in and get a couple shots. It was really great team play there, and obviously the special control there and the turf control was really good. Onwards to not a 3-0 sweep. Onwards to Clan Blitz on Inkblot, which should be a pretty interesting map to watch. It's I don't know if it's my favorite Clan Blitz map anymore, because I don't really rank maps that well, but Inkblot Clams is a somewhat divisive map, I know, but I certainly do enjoy it quite a lot. I can't really give you any weapon predictions here, just anything that can control the platform pretty well. It's definitely a thing that helps on this map. Tentembrella can be quite powerful here, so can a lot of the sloshes, and I ran out of other weapons to say. Tent and Slosh are always going to be powerful on Clan Blitz, though, I think. Obviously, good special control to be able to control the baskets for attack and defense is also very useful for Clan Blitz, so hopefully these teams are bringing good specials to the fray to be able to help with that control. And looking like most teams are fairly ready now, just going for their final picks, it looks like, with only about 15 seconds left on deciding. Overall, good performance, though, from both teams. I think each team has had a pretty strong performance each round so far, and either way, it's been very close all around. I think it's been a very good time to show these guys on stream here, because I think they've had a very good match to watch so far. I'm not trying to say anything against Atlantic. It's just that the camera control was on Venomous that entire match, so I had to talk about the people that are on camera the entire match. That's all. I'm not trying to be biased here, despite the fact I have biases. Anyway, we're going into game whatever. You've got L3D coming from Cozy. You've got the double Anke team coming from Atlantic, and obviously Kenta Jr. coming from both teams for the bubbles here. And looking like so far mid-control was just mid-control. Neither team has gotten a huge clam advantage, though Venomous Squids here does certainly have a good amount of clams. They've actually mid-control is kind of looking pretty bad here. Tommy is somewhat isolated on the left stack here, while the rest of the team is on the other one. Trades for days here, though. The Kensa Junior fight does end up being on Kaz. Yeah, mid control now gained by Atlantic here, looking to try and get some clams here, build up some specials. They do have the bubbles coming from Kaz and the inkjet coming from Cozy, but nothing too strong at the moment. The Booyah Bomb from Tomio as well, going to be quite useful here. Brosh does go down, I believe that was Prince here. And Noah on the left stack, I think that was an inkjet that took them out here. Bubbles from Laloon do manage to take out one, and I think Nero takes out the other one, so the entire push gets stopped on its tracks here. There's still room for them to pick it up, especially after Cat placed a mine on the ink brush there, not the best play. Yeah, looks like Atlantic here holding a pretty good amount of turf control here. You can see pick-wise here, pretty rough game for Venomous Squid so far. They're having a lot of trouble getting out of their base and controlling mid effectively. Oh, Tomio does manage to get a trade to the Cancer Jr., I believe. Laloon, yeah. But you've got Cozy and Kaz coming in from behind there. You manage to get 2 clams in, but then they immediately get wiped before the third one comes in. Looking pretty solid for a defense there. A 60 push is pretty strong, but it's nothing compared to a 40 push, which unfortunately Atlantic wasn't able to pull off. So, looking like hopefully Venomous Squid's here going to be able to some interesting fall-off shots there from Noah. Unfortunately gets punished for trying to follow up on them. Hopefully Venomous here can try and maintain this map control that they've been able to gain here. But against the double anchor team that Atlantic is pulling out right now, it's going to be quite a difficult game for Venomous Squids here, especially because I think the Ink Brush and the Kensa Jr. have a bit of role overlap to a certain extent, where it means that the offensive pressure that Venomous Squids can put out is a little bit on the weaker end at the moment. Fortunately, at least their defense is still looking quite strong here. 3 minutes passed and only 1 push has happened, looking like Ink Blood, alright. Rain coming up from Narrow onto the mid here. Hopefully going to be able to push the... oh, nice. Almost pick. Both anchors are down, actually. Venomous might be able to get a push going here. They do have some clams here. Narrow's looking like they're going to start slowly pushing up here. Maybe try to start pressuring them here. There is a flank coming out from Prince here with the Ink Brush. They are going to use the flank here. However, it does look like they do go down for it now, and they don't have a lot of clams coming in. It's going to be up to... Oh, Noah does get one. Will he be able to get any help to be able to maintain the push, though? No, unfortunately not. That's why flank pushes are genuinely generally a lot less inferior, or a lot more inferior to a special push, because you don't really get the kind of presence in their base to be able to maintain the push and get more clams in. But good defense from Venomous so far. Haven't really allowed Atlantic to push up on their base, but they really need some more clams built up. There's still a minute left in the game. They do manage to get 1 kick here. Tommy are going to have to go for a bit of a panic ball. Does manage to throw it, but looking in a pretty rough spot. But does get 2 with the Booyah Bomb. That's a complete wipe, complete reversal of my commentary, and a complete reversal of fortune for Atlantic here, getting what looks to be pretty much a straight knockout at this rate. That is rough. Yeah, I think it just came down to the fact that Venomous didn't have great offensive pressure to be able to maintain fights with Atlantic, so a lot of the time they had to back out. And Atlantic just had a much better control of their special organization to break in on the basket more consistently. Unfortunate results for Venomous, but everyone there had a good match. There were some close matches, and every team had one they completely knocked out of the park. So I think it was still a pretty even showing from both of the teams, and a good effort from Venomous and Atlantic. Congrats on Atlantic to the win. I'm just going to look at some of the rest of the bracket now. Okay. Gale Force managed to get a 3-0 onto Krillbell, and Walk the Plankton got a 3-0 onto Nameless. But Giga Squid and 11K versus Giga Squid versus Too Fast and 11K versus Midnight haven't posted their results yet, so hopefully going to be still interesting. So yeah, great matches. Yeah, both teams had their good advantages and disadvantages, and I think it was a strong showing from both of them. I think both of them showed their best. They also just had their weak moments. Alright, have fun with everyone watching the rest of the streams. Obviously, we won't be able to really stream any other matches until another 5-ish minutes, so it's probably going to be a bit of downtime for this stream. Unfortunate. Anyway, have fun watching. Yeah, Midnight should have a pretty good stream, POV, courtesy of Atomic. There's probably a couple other streams. I'm not sure about how many other teams have streaming capabilities though, so... Completely inappropriate emojis. Alright, okay, so Kaz and Grubdog also. Okay, that means, yeah, too fast to Umi PoE could be quite interesting. Not really sure. They obviously won in round 1 because there's been a bye system because of the odd team numbers, so this is their first showing of the seeding, so would be quite interesting to see what their results were. Alright, okay. Sorry for my commentary being apparently a couple seconds delay. The method that I'm able to commentate this means there's some extra loopholes that we have to jump through, which can cause a couple issues, like my view being delayed. Hopefully it's all nice and fixed now, so should be slightly less of that in the future. Nothing else to add there. First match stream issues, you know, just the usual stuff. This... Props to the admin team for making round 3 look like that. I'm just looking at the map list while we've got some downtime here, and if you haven't looked at the map list for round 3, which might not be on the stream yet, so that's understandable, it's interesting. You know, starting off with Clam Blitz Moray into Rainmaker Manta, Then a bit of a breather with Tower Control Albacore and Splatoon's Walleye, and then you end up with Clamblitz Sturgeon Shipyard. That's interesting. Another update: 11k below went 1-3 to Midnight. That's another result. Somewhat expected showing, considering Midnight is most likely going to be staying in Div 1, and we don't really know what Midnight 11k below is yet. That means we're only waiting on Giga Squid and Too Fast Too Umi before we can move on to round 3. It's better since it was reworked, please. I like that map a decent amount. The old Albacore was definitely pretty bad, but I think when they reworked it, the change of the checkpoints made it a lot less choky. It doesn't have 2 big checkpoints right at the start anymore, so it's a lot easier to get a push going. I think the rework of Albacore was good, and I am allowed to have an opinion, and you aren't. I can understand because pretty much all the other Albacore, when it got the small changes alongside Schallendorf, it was pretty much nothing for every other mode. It's really only TC that got any changes, so it's understandable if some people didn't make much attention to it. But I do believe it makes the flow of it a lot better now. Oh, and it's a Too Fast Too Umi 3-2 to Gigasplats. No, Splats, it's Giga Squids, my bad. That was... Ooh. Giga Squid has been getting a lot of close matches against a lot of these kind of Div 3, Div 2 sort of teams. That's pretty impressive for a new team. Which means that we're likely ready for round 3. Yeah, I've been watching some of their scrims as I record scrims occasionally, and Too Fast have been improving quite a lot. I'd say we got round 3. The highlights of them definitely have to be Cackle and Alzi. They do a lot of great work for the team. Oh, and we've got some interesting maps round 3. Interesting matchups. We've got Walk the Plankton versus Too Fast, Venomous versus Krillbill, Atlantic versus 11k, Team Materna versus Giga Squid, and Gale Force versus Midnight. Now, I'm kind of conflicted here. Yeah, we're absolutely streaming Gale Force versus Midnight. We're not missing that opportunity. You know, a Div 1 mainstay for the past 2 seasons versus a team that has had members that have worked their way up to that level over this entire time. It should be a very, very interesting showing between the two, because members of former floating point. Floating point was definitely Div 1 contending, so having most of their members rejoin to a similar team means they're probably going to have a pretty fierce showing against Midnight. And obviously Midnight, having recruited some more people since the last season, means their team plan is going to possibly look a little different from the Midnight that we're used to seeing. Also, shout out to non-transparent icons because these are both round icons and they aren't transparent. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah. This should be a great one to watch. Not the best maps to watch them on, but certainly a great matchup. So if you like a commentary, I'm just helping the stream team figure out stuff. All right. We will be just making sure the lobbies are set up as I will stall for time, and then we're going to be getting into this Go Force versus Midnight. It should be a very interesting matchup to see indeed. Excellent commentary from Patty in the chat right now. It's not getting that windy over here, but I do live in a place where a majority of Australia's population isn't, so that might explain it. I knew we had a bit of a time difference between Australia and Southeast Asia, but I didn't realize it was that severe. Then again, it is actually going to be more severe because of daylight savings, so maybe that joke is a little more accurate than I would like to guess. Alright, I'm just waiting on one more member for this lobby to start up, so here's to hoping I don't have to talk about the weather anymore. Yeah, I can read the chat, I see it. Hopefully it can be resolved. Okay. So it looks like instead of Link joining, it's going to have to be Skitter. Okay. That's all good. To be fair, well, most of this was actually just about... Most of the waiting was actually from the start of round 3. There's a 5-minute delay so that we can actually sort out who's streaming and recording what. Then we also have to ask the teams, organize them. Then we have to get 9 different people into the lobby. It's not that surprising that it takes a little bit of time to start these. Any case though, Clan Blitz Moray, arguably the best mode to play Moray Towers on, in my opinion. That's going to be up for debate because it's Moray Towers, so everything about this map will forever be up for debate. But we'll see how the match reflects that opinion. Almost ready now. Looks like most members are set up now. Right. Okay, Vanilla Splattershot from Trent, not too surprising. We also see K-Pro and 96 coming out from Midnight, going for a fairly long-range comp here. Obviously minus the Roller, but that's just Yasuna. Also Object Shredder from Silarus. Not too surprising. Clan Blitz has a lot of objects to destroy. So we do see Midnight going with their long-range comp here. Going to be Atomic and Lizzie. Lizzie falls off the map. That's not how you want to start a match here. Atomic does manage to take out Skitter there. Very nice pick. Means the base is going to be under control for another little bit here. Atomic here kind of just trying to control mid here, hopefully on the right side. I'm going to have to back out though, as Trent kind of pressures up the walls with the Splattershot here. Obviously having a Splashdown ready, going to probably try and go for the classic Splashdown Burst Bomb combo, but given Midnight's long-range comp here, might not happen. Also, considering Yasuna whiffed a shot and forced Trent to waste a Splashdown, also not going to happen anymore. Lizzie goes for a bit of an unfortunate pick there, isn't going to work out for them. Lizzie is Jaws, by the way, just getting that out there. I don't want to have to commentate that every single time. Gale Force here with a fairly good control of mid at the moment, and with very good clam control, 15-4. Looking like they're hopefully going to be able to get on the basket right now. Trent's kind of just trying to pressure up and down onto the snipe here, and Silarus is just trying to get some bullets down onto the basket itself here. Cookie going to go from the line. Very nice pick there. Takes out Lizzie. Really smooth play. And it's looking like, but Skitter does go down here. Cookie does manage to get the throw in, goes for the BR bomb. They do see jumps over on the high ground here, so they're going to pick that up and immediately remove 2 of Midnight from the battlefield here. Silarus isn't able to... Silarus is able to jump out in time here. Sub 40 push, very strong for... Oh, never mind, Skitter just decides to make it an actual sub 40 push. Thanks for correcting my commentary for me. Skitter here does manage to get a good pick onto Atomic here. Wasn't able to get the baller up in time to take out Lizzie though. Trent here gonna get some more clams, already pushing on the basket once again here. They've got really, really good control of this area, just trying to make sure that it stays, that Midnight is stuck in their base here. You can see how there's 2 on high snipe, and they just can't really leave it effectively. They can't get into mid right now. They did get a pick onto Skitter though, which is definitely going to help them regain access into it then. Unfortunately though, it looks like... Oh, nice. Some more picks coming out here. Skitter does manage to try and pressure it, but I don't know if it's working so far. Autocam is giving me a great view of the battlefield right now, but it is working. It looks like Midnight's ready to start a push here, but they don't have any clams or much kills. Splats rather. That was not the best showing there. They definitely had the idea to go for a push. They just didn't have the clams to back up that effort with any sort of action of their own. Trent here gonna go for a pretty considering which Trent was marked that entire time, it's quite surprising that Atomic didn't notice it, but unfortunate. Now we've got Skitter on basket once again. Trent's going to go for the jump in here. Looks like Silos might as well. Splash down, captures out everyone, but the ball lands in a really bad spot here. Trent does manage to pick it up though, and it looks like the whole team managed to get them in. That's a straight knockout there. That was a very strong performance from Gale Force there. They held the entirety of the mid. They knew exactly when they wanted to push. They didn't really make any bad plays there. It was yeah, that was textbook Mori pretty much. Great efforts from Gale Force there. Really strong effort. So moving on to game 2 now. It's going to be Rainmaker on Manta Maria, which is going to be interesting, especially considering that one team here has a resident roller player. Link is going to be going in now. Looks like someone of Gale Force is going to be going for the sub here. It's going to be... I didn't catch that name, sorry. You'll have to figure it out for me. Sorry, chat. Alright, moving into Manta Maria. It's a land of quick pops, quick runs, and pushes that rarely get past 10, rarely get past 15, unless you've really got them set up in base. Yeah, this should be a pretty good performance. Sorry if I'm saying so much, I'm trying to formulate 20 thoughts at once. Yeah, hopefully Midnight can actually get some mid control and get some scores on the board this time, because that was really quite an unfortunate performance from them last game. As for weapon picks, it's kind of an all-around map, but definitely I think Slosher is a pretty strong weapon here. Roller can get around a lot here. I definitely think Manta Maria is a pretty strong roller map. That might just be me though. Thanks. I'm saying a lot of ums, and I'm not very good at filling dead space without co-commentators, so I'm doing my best. And I'm saying again, so I'm going to try and stop from now on. Anyway, with only 10 seconds left roughly on the counter, it's looking like the match is going to be starting whether Midnight has their weapons sorted or not here. And with only no seconds left here, looks like Midnight here just barely got their weapons picked. There wasn't any forceful ticks, luckily. And I said it again. Gosh darn it. In any case, though, we're getting into Rainmaker Manta Maria, and we'll find out what their weapons are going to be starting right about now. Just got you. It's Ballpoint and Dynamo, and we've got Nautilus. Excuse me, is that a Nautilus? Okay, Atomic. I did not expect to see a Nautilus today, just in general, so thanks for that. Midnight here, gonna try and go for the pop here. They do manage to get it here. Dynamite here on the upper bunker here, going to be quite difficult to control here. The crossfire from Silos does manage to pick out 2 of them. Very powerful here. In fact, with the ballpoint left is the only one up here. It's going to be Gale Force's time to push here. Ballpoint does go down and Inkjet comes up. It's going to try and control the pressure, but unfortunately, I think that was the ballpoint there. Might be wrong. Ended up getting a nice couple picks. This is just how Rainmaker is. It's the map that doesn't go past 25 to 15. VR bomb's going to be launched onto it to try and make sure it's nice and safe. Nice pick there from Lucy getting the dynamo. Does manage to pick off Skitter as well. Stuck in dodge roll, focusing on someone else. Perfect time for a Caper to come in and inflate its KD another bunch. Trent's going to be trying to chilling out of a bunker here, as Silas is going to try and control the left here. Unfortunately, gets picked off by the Rain, the Roller, and the... Oh, nice pick from Yasuna there, another one down. That's 3 down, only the 10 attack left. Still just sharking, but the sharking pays off. It takes out the Rainmaker and stops Midnight from getting a push going for another 10 seconds. Yeah, that was really a really sneaky play. Played out quite well for Gale Force there. They're going to go for the pop, just keeps him in control now. Looks like Skitter went for a flank, went pretty bad there, but Lizzie was stuck trying to run away from Link. Perfect time for Trent to catch up and get a kill. Splat, so I think they just noticed the flank here. Didn't need the assistance though. I think that was Silos all on their own there. Oh, nice. That barely looked like a direct. And then the Inkjet exhaust assist. Lovely stuff there. Unfortunately, it looks like they've got a bit of a roller problem here. And it does manage to get a trade out of it as well. Yeah, this is pretty much a one-on-one right now. Dynamo with the Rainmaker versus the Nort here. I think that was Nort plus bull point there with some double heavy action there, completely shutting off the Rainmaker and a crossfire. And you've got Atomic and Lizzie, and now Inkjet. Never mind, it's the Inkjet from Atomic. Unfortunately, everyone's out of range. Oh, never mind! I spoke too soon. Atomic got back up onto Trent here, going to pick up the Rainmaker now. Hopefully start a push of their own, but with the member control as it is, it's looking like Midnight's going to have a bit of a tough time here. Unfortunately, wasn't able to find the Rainmaker here. So it meant that the mid's been stalled. Atomic's just going to try and push it forward, keep it out of their side mid. Good play when you're in the losing situation in Rainmaker. Just toss the Rainmaker forward and try and make sure that it's not in a situation that the enemy can set it up on. We can see Yasuna here going for a bit of a flank, but I don't think they've really got it under control. Unfortunately, mid's just not under their control right now, and Skitter does go down, but Trent's going to provide a decent amount of turf here. Salaris does go down before they can break their own penalty. Trent with the Inkjet here, I think it got stopped by the Grails. I might be wrong on that front. Does get taken out by the Caper here. Link does get taken out as well. Skitter's left frantically trying to escape, but Silas jump back into their own beacon, going to be able to keep mid control up. Not to mention, Skitter here just kind of trying to go for a funky flank here, but against 2 heavy Spartlings, it's not really going to happen here. Inkjet's been popped from Atomic here. He's not able to really find anyone. I spoke too soon, Trent once again. Looking like, unfortunately, wasn't able to get the charge up in time to deal with Skitter. That is really quite unfortunate. Luckily, Lizzie there able to get the cancel, going to be able to try and keep the defense up. But with only a minute left, it's really up to Midnight to be able to get some get set up on the enemy and actually get a score run. Lizzie barely being able to escape from the Rainmaker here. Wasn't able to do it twice, unfortunately. Yasuna, in a bit of an awkward engagement over here on the other side of the map, does get taken down. Midnight now 3 down here. With the ball point left is the only one up. Skitter going to try and aggress on them, but unfortunately, I don't think they've really found them. Never mind. That was interesting. I shouldn't try and make any calls right now because all of them are wrong. In case, though, it doesn't look like Midnight is really able to set up on the enemy at the moment here. Roller does manage to take out the ballpoint though, and Dynamo is down here. Skitter is on a bit of a flank, but if Midnight does notice it in time, which they do, they might be able to make it. But unfortunately, they do get taken down here. Atomic isn't able to get any picks here. Do they have the ability to pop this in time? They do. They don't have the ability to pick it up in time. That was unfortunate indeed, but that is going to be a 2-0 for Gale Force versus Midnight. They just got the 1.5 good pushes on them, and Midnight wasn't able to get the map control to make a counter push of their own, so never really went anywhere. That's a pretty strong performance there from Gale Force, and we're going to move on to round 3, which is now game point for Gale Force, and it's TC Albacore. So it looks like Skitter is subbed out for Gale Force. Cookie is coming in to hopefully try and seal this deal nice and swiftly. Moving into TC Albacore, it's Albacore. Ranged options are still really appreciated, but the way this map plays out means it's nowhere near as necessary compared to the other modes on this map. So you could probably get away with some wacky stuff here, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do. In any case, though, given its game point for Midnight, they want to make sure that they're getting some control this time around. Their map control has just been rather lackluster so far for this showing, and it's really hurt them. Especially without the ability to enforce control, Yasuna isn't able to push up and get some picks, and it just means the whole team starts to lose control after that. And it definitely can be remedied. This isn't hopeless for them, but it's certainly looking quite unlikely for Midnight to be able to turn this around at this moment. We'll see. Maybe Albacore will be the big turning moment. It's definitely possible, but we'll wait and see here. We will wait and see. With only 2 selections left for Midnight, it's looking like the match is going to start fairly soon. Just depends on what their weapons are. I'm going to take a well-deserved drink break. So moving into TC Albacore, we can see what their weapons are right now. I'm not expecting too much of a radical change from either team, but we will see. We do see a radical change, and we also see a splatterscope, so have fun to the person in chat that wanted that. I'm quite surprised by the Sorella Brella pick and the Vanilla Brella pick here. It's definitely a strong Brella map, but I would say that this is probably... Brella's a lot stronger on the other modes for this map, I personally think. Atomic does show us otherwise, immediately takes out, I think that was one of them here. Pro gets taken out by the other one. Pretty much Brella left up, but Link does take him out. Atomic playing a little too aggressive at the end there, trying to seal the deal, which means that Gale Force is able to completely turn around the opening and get a great job to get the lead back. Thanks, Luke. All the specials are out here. Link does manage to take out one, Yasuno on the flank here. Managed to get some turf control out as well. Going to be able to pass this first checkpoint by a breeze here. Only Charger left up now and being completely aggressed. Does manage to get the revenge though. K-Pro gets taken out. And we are seeing that Midnight here having a real trouble just getting this setup out of their base here. Link on the Brella here does kind of push in when they couldn't though. Lissy left as one of the only ones up, does manage to win a trade between I think 2 K-Pros here. And 2 checkpoints lost, but this is certainly not in dangerous territory for Midnight yet. They're just going to have to get the mid control back and to start getting some results here and some picks. Unfortunately, Atomic does go down here, and it looks like Lizzie... I'm not sure actually what happened there. I think they ended up losing to the Brella there from Link. I might be wrong there, but then that happened. We've also got Yasunik here just trying to get something to happen here, but safely jumps out. Looking like it might be back to mid, but it might have been back to base with the X down A. Never mind, it was back to mid after all. Barely got not sniped there. Gonna try and aggress onto the Charger. Does it unsuccessfully. I'm not entirely sure how that engagement worked. The camera was not close enough for that, but Midnight being coupled down here, plus the bomb rush here, does manage to take out Lizzie. But shows their back, or not, to the charge. Interesting play nonetheless here. You've got Atomic and Ashimaru here trying to take out the caper here, but Ashimaru isn't really going for picks that the team is looking at. So it's making it a lot harder. Oh, that is interesting. Unfortunately here, still in a pretty bad spot here, getting rushed down by the Brella here, but Link wasn't able to get the Brella up in time to deal with the rest of Midnight here. So Midnight hopefully going to be able to go for another push of their own now. It's looking pretty rough though. Turf control is lacking and Midnight's coordination isn't the strongest in terms of teaming up for kills here. We're seeing Silas jump out, going to try and charge up a raid to try and stop whatever potential push happens here. Brella one-on-one action, except it wasn't a one-on-one and Link was surrounded by the entirety of Midnight at once. Quite unfortunate here. You've got them trying to set up on the first checkpoint here. They've got a lot of specials ready, but Yasuna does go down now. And you can see Trent here on the ball here on the L3. K-Pro does go down here, And now it's just Lizzie on the tower here versus Umbrella. This is pretty rough, and understandably, it's not in Lizzie's favor. But is Yasuna going to be able to get the pick on Link? They do. More importantly, Atomic on the tower with Umbrella means they can definitely pass this checkpoint. Does manage to get a pick onto one. They're passing it. They've gotten the lead out of it. They finally got some score on the board. With only 2 minutes left, though, and considering there's no checkpoints protecting this lead, it's certainly very, very dangerous for Midnight, especially given they just lost mid control. Definitely going to be a rough time for Midnight coming ahead, but at least they got some points on the board so they can feel pretty solid about it. Caper does get taken down now, and looking like Trent's going to be pushing it onto mid now. Atomic on the Brella tried to go for some fancy stuff, but Siler saw it coming, managed to get a pick onto Lizzie as well, and Yasuna I think goes down to the bomb rush. Left with Charger being the only one up. Luckily they're about 93 to a Stingray, so they should be able to get one up right now and to try and stop the push from going on. But it's looking pretty rough here. Atomic going to try and play the hero, plays it very successfully until he doesn't there. Trent does take him out though. All are out to try and keep it alive here. More importantly, this rate isn't really helping at the moment very much here. Trent's going to try and get right back on tower here. Now their entire array is gone and a lot of their defense is in a very tough spot. Luckily Trent going for the flank, getting taken out by Atomic, but on the downside here, Midnight doesn't have people up to stop this. Umbrella on tower plus a Keeper surrounding the Charger. Very rough time. Midnight, to go down to what I believe was a bomb from Lizzie there. With 30 seconds left, the scoreline isn't in a disastrous position, but Midnight is. They've been going down and effectively just dying in base for about 40 seconds now, and they're just really, really struggling to get anything done. They do get 2 down though. With only a couple minutes left, it could work, but Trent gets a sneaky flank, and I don't know if the team was prepared for that. Yasuna falls off the bridge, trying to take out Trent. Now Atomic's left as the sole one, and wasn't able to get on the tower in time. Barely missed it. Very, very close game for the end, but that is going to be a 3-0 for Gale Force versus Midnight. Very, very strong performance from Gale Force. Really showed exactly where they want to place this season, and Midnight definitely put up a good effort, but their coordination was just a bit too lacking, I think, to be able to really effectively get the splats onto Gale Force and really get their own map control going. So unfortunate for Midnight, but a really, really strong showing for Gale Force, especially showing they can take out a Div 1 team, or at least a prior Div 1 team. We don't know the results of the seeding just yet, obviously, but really, really strong stuff from Gale Force. Definitely going to be a team to watch out for again. I was kind of dubious of the L3 pick. I can't lie, Trent. It worked, I think, but against Umbrella Roller Comp, it can definitely have some issues, I can imagine. In any case, though, I'm going to tell you about some of the other results now. Too Fast Too Roomy ended up going 3-2 against Giga Squid. Been getting no, that's old results, my bad. Venomous Squids went 3-0 against Krillbill, and that's the only other results so far. So Venom is still showing, they've been scrimming Krillbill for a while, so it's not too surprising they'd understand what to do against them. And we're still waiting on some other results, namely, we're still waiting on Walk the Plankton versus Too Fast Too Roomy. We're still waiting on Atlantic versus 11K Below, and we're still waiting on Team Materna versus Giga Squid. I will be very interested on the Atlantic versus 11K Below results, because I think that 11K could be around. They could be Div 2. I'm not entirely sure. Div 3, Div 2 seems like my guess at the moment based on the results I'm seeing. So it wouldn't surprise me if that is a pretty close game. And likewise with Walk the Plankton Too Fast Too Roomy, they're both around Div 2 right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some pretty close games there as well. And in case, we've still got 2 more rounds before the seeding is wrapped up and I can stop my hungry stomach from growling. It probably is going to pick up on mic by round 5. I can't promise anything. Round 4 is going to be very, very interesting. It is Clan Blitz Blackbelly, then Rainmaker Skipper, Splatoon's Kelp, TC Pit if needed, and Rainmaker Reef if needed. Oh, I see. So results, I believe that was, Brix04 is covering the recording for Atlantic 11K. It's up to Game 5 now, so definitely looks like it's been a close one. I'll look forward to being able to announce the results over that one. I think round 4 is interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing what people want to do on that one. TC Piranha Pit is always a bit of an oof. I don't really have anything else to comment. TC Piranha Pit is just an oof. And yeah, I can't really guess, but I'm going to assume that next round on the stream, we might take something like we might take a Too Fast Too Umi round, or maybe an 11k below round, depending, because I think those are some of the only other teams we haven't spectated yet. So that would probably be interesting to watch. For now, I'm going to take a small break in the commentary because I need a drink. I want to stop my stomach from grumbling, so I'm going to grab an apple. And we also have nothing to announce for the time being, so I'll be a minute or two, don't mind me. Bringing some organic apple crunching sounds to the chat. Let's get some Cum ASMR going as we wait for the results of the remaining matches to come in. This is me right now. I'm not that powerful. I'm sorry. I need to train harder. It should be interesting, yeah. We're not. I don't think we're gonna get a match as hype as Gale Force and Midnight though. Just the nature of it. We've already seen a couple rivalries come up, I'm pretty sure. But yeah. I would love to see a Too Fast Too Umi versus 11k below. I think that would be a really good one to stream. We'll obviously find out what happens here though. So yeah. Nothing else to comment there. That'd be nice to watch though if it comes up. Okay, we've got a 3-1 results from Gigasquid to Team Materna. That's one more score onto the board, only 2 left. Walk the Plankton Too Fast is currently still ongoing. I'm going to close some doors, don't mind me. My dog is being a dumb boy. Team Materna might be streamed. Otherwise, as many of the matches, we've got 2 recorders on deck plus the stream. So a lot of matches that aren't directly being streamed are going to be put up on YouTube. I don't know if they're actually going to be public or not, but I'm going to assume they will be because we tend to make most videos public here. So there's definitely been, I think, I'll double check, but I think Team Materna, we might get one of the recorders to grab one of those guys. Depends what the matchups are for round 4. Unfortunately, they had a buy in round 2, so we weren't able to set up anything for them at that point. So yeah, we'll try and make sure there's at least one match of every team covered so far, which I think we've done a pretty good job of so far. I think we're just missing Team Materna, Nameless, and I think that's maybe it. Maybe we're missing Krillbill as well, actually, but I'm not entirely sure. You don't need to thank me. It's a team effort here in the stream team. Oh, results. Too Fast, Too Amy beat Walk the Plankton in a 3-2 score. Congratulations to them, and congratulations to the end of round 3. Wow, okay. We got the matchup alright. I got the exact matchup I was asking for, I'm pretty sure. It's Too Fast, Too Amy versus 11k. I might be wrong. Also, I should have announced it on stream, but CalamarCat's joining me on comms, so hi.
Oh, I should close the stream because I can hear myself. That's great. Alright. I just heard you mention the match that just finished, Too Fast to Wimmy versus Walk the Plankton. If that gets streamed at any point, like if there is a rematch and it gets streamed at any point during the season, I would very much recommend everyone watching it because, oh boy, that was ridiculously close. It was amazing to watch.
Damn, that is good to hear.
Yeah.
Well, at least we out of the stream team priorities, we've got one just out of the way. Team Eterna and Nameless on a matchup. That's gonna be perfect. I think on the stream we're probably gonna go for Too Fast, Too Amy 11k below because they're likely gonna be in the same division. So I think it's gonna be a pretty close matchup.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. We're slowly getting towards the closer matches here, so it's getting a bit tougher.
There's been pretty close matches in all the brackets. Even round 1 had a game 5 situation. There's just a lot of 3-0s still.
Yeah, but hey, it's Swiss. What can you do, unfortunately?
Yeah.
I should probably have chat open. That might help.
It certainly does, yeah.
Oh, how do I do that on the new Twitch interface?
It's still just in the settings with the pop-out, I'm pretty sure.
I'm apparently blind. Yeah, I do not know. I think it's not helping I have all the mod settings, and therefore I have a million things to look at right now.
Yeah, that wouldn't help.
Okay, well, maybe I'll just try and... Alright. I might just end up with the stream sitting there because I can't I can't find it.
I'm sure I can. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure it's just when the... Oh, right. Isn't there a toggle to go from mod channels to regular settings as well?
Oh, probably.
I'm pretty sure I saw that when I was on my stream messing around with stuff earlier.
Ah, yes. There we go. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, good.
Alright, yes, so that it just apparently doesn't appear at all in the mod stuff. Cool. Alright. We're set up slowly.
It's alright, we're still waiting for the members to join. All of Too Fast... no, there's one of Too Fast, I think? Never mind. All of Too Fast is here, we're just waiting on one from 11k. There we go, I got it right eventually.
Oh, it is nice when teams have the tags so you can actually tell who's who.
Yeah.
Who have we got here? Okay, so I haven't really been keeping up with the bracket too well. So 11k. Okay. They took a game off Midnight. They took 2 games off Atlantic. And meanwhile, Too Fast won against Walk the Plankton. Actually, they've had 2 5-game matches because they went 2 game 5 against Giga as well. All right. I do wonder sometimes if it helps teams who had a bye. Like at the beginning, Too Fast to Wimmy had a bye in the first round. So it means they're probably not quite as tired as the other teams are right now. Might be helping.
Yeah.
It can get a little exhausting after a couple hours in a tournament, that's for sure. So
yeah, I certainly feel that a lot. Any case, though, we're going into Clan Blitz and Black Belly for Game 1. Certainly one of the more chaotic Clan Blitz maps. Also a lot more formulaic, where pretty much skate park push or whatever is the only real push you can do on this map. But obviously, if they have some flanky weapons, they can definitely go from the right. We'll see though.
Mm. It'll be interesting to see what team comps we have here, what kinds of specials people are going for. Because that certainly has a bit of an effect.
Yeah, it's Clan Blitz, so I think most people tend to use the same 5 or so. We do see indeed Buller actually pretty interesting on both these teams here.
Yeah, we have a Brush and a Dynamo on 11k. Interesting choice.
Too Fast Too Umi has the standard bubble Buller, though obviously with the Cherry H3 it makes it a little bit different. And you've got Armor Inkjet coming out from 11k for Clan Blitz. That's not really a special you see on this mode a whole lot, but if it works, it certainly does. And 11k's had pretty consistent results so far, so I'm sure it is working.
Yeah, I can see there's a few high points here that you can inkjet from fairly safely, so for guarding a push, it could be a pretty good idea. Ooh, speaking of pushes, we do have this push in.
Yeah, the Booyah Bomb does take out Grub here. The bubbles are coming as a counteract from Alzi. Looks like 11k is going to try and play it safe here between the flank and the bubbles here. Does force the push to be delayed. But Hydrate is on the zone. Tiger does get the pick on Yabby here. Looks like they're pretty ready and set to actually start a push now. Tiger is going to go for the early break here. But they're effectively just running into the basket and throwing themselves for a 20 push because as soon as they got the throws in, they immediately were taken out. So not the most dangerous situation for Too Fast Too Umi right now, especially with Yabby getting that pick on the squeezer at the end there. Yeah, that's still pretty safe for Too Fast Too Umi here. 11k kind of, they had a pretty good start for a push there, but the pieces didn't quite line up together to really make a strong push out of that.
Yeah, it is very early on though. We still have 3 minutes 30 left, so
yeah.
Good.
You don't expect sub 50 pushes to come out on Clan Blitz most times. It really takes a lot of It really takes a solid coordinated effort to make a sub 50 push on this mode.
Yeah, although in the previous game I was watching with Clan Blitz, Too Fast Too Umi did have a very coordinated push where they got 2 balls and a few clams in at the same time. So they obviously have.
Oh, that is really botched. They missed the clam throw and then they tried to recover it and it just didn't work for them. That is really unfortunate for Too Fast.
Yeah. Too many people going down there and...
Oh, someone picked that. Someone doubled there from Hydra.
Yeah, very nice work with that down with there.
Unfortunately, it ended in a trade, but it still gave 11k a lot of control to try and work out.
Yeah, I think especially with that.
Especially
with this team comp, I think I'll need some tech. Sorry.
No, I'm just really amused at this H3 and foil squeezer duel right now because both weapons have immense difficulty hitting each other. Then they both resorted to just popping specials at each other, and it looked exactly like a YouTuber 1v1 because that's exactly how it goes in that as well.
That was a rather entertaining match. Ooh, okay. I must admit I don't see squeezes very often in these games, so every time I see it, it's interesting.
Squeezer's just got a really high skill floor. That means a lot of people don't want to play it when there's other bubble weapons they can pick. But it's fairly strong if you know how to actually aim and position yourself with it. Then it's not. It's around the same kind of strength as K-Pro. It just doesn't have the ability to kill at close range like a K-Pro, because it kind of relies on spacing a lot more than a K-Pro does.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Either way, though, we're seeing Too Fast here. Go for a setup or push on their own. The Inkjet's out, but it does get taken down there. Looks like they're going to try and set up for the half pipe now, though. Though 11k is kind of intercepting it here. Alzi barely missing a bomb to the face, but does get taken out by the combined efforts of 2 other people here.
Oh.
The Dynamo does manage to get a double, but Yappy's left is the only one up now. Can't recover the clam safely, so they're just going to have to...
they can just keep pushing?
They attempted to, but those bubbles just wanted to say no here. Tiger is going to be able to try and get the pick here, but Image here just barely able to kind of sneak in and get the clam there. Not enough to get a lead though, mind you. Grub does get taken down here. Is this going to happen? Unfortunately, Tiger isn't able to get in that far. He was able to take out Image though. That is fairly important. Unfortunately, it went through a pretty linear path on the escape route, and that was perfect for Alzi with the H3 just to completely pop off with a triple shot there.
Nice work by Hydro. The Dynamo there shutting down the H3. So very nice flick.
Yeah, we're seeing picks down from both teams now though. 11k is a number of people down. Hydro with the Dynamo here, just kind of chilling out. Exacting justice onto Grub here. 2 down now. Yabi gonna try and maybe get something going here. Image unfortunately does get the trade. That's not so unfortunate here. But Yabi gonna try and go for the ball here. It does get popped. Does manage to get the to trade out of it, but with only 7 seconds left and with Too Fast having no access into the half pipe, that ball's gonna disappear and so might their overtime chances.
Ooh, yep. Okay.
Yeah. It was kind of just a slugfest in mid for most of that. Neither team really had enough control to build up a strong push and enough specials to really get in on the base there. So it's not too surprising the scores were that low, but nevertheless it was still pretty close.
Yeah, I feel like the first successful push we had, I think that was a flank from mid. I'm trying to remember.
There was someone coming. Yeah. There was the Dynamo went from mid, but they mostly went from the regular position. It just meant that the Dynamo was enough of a distraction that the Too Fast wasn't able to fully get in position for it.
Yeah, I think that certainly helped because a lot of the other pushes were straight through the skate park there, and they just kept getting shut down because it is a very narrow, pokey area. When you've got specials and bombs and everything coming at you, it can be very hard to get through there alive.
Yeah, bubbles can help, but they're also fairly exploitable. It depends on a lot of factors. I think the Dynamo coming out from Hydro as well meant that was a lot harder to push from half pipe because the Dynamo can just kind of slam the hammer down on you no matter where you are in that position and probably catch you out.
Yeah, that's true. It's a very nice weapon when you have some like a height to work from.
In any case, though, we're moving into Rainmaker on Skipper now. Certainly a bit of a fast one. You can get pushes that don't make it to 20 for an entire match, or you can get a knockout in 20 seconds. It's just that kind of map. We'll certainly see how it goes.
When we got the maps list last night off Nico, I think all the admins saw the map list for this round and went, "Oh boy,"
Yeah,
this is certainly a set.
It's manageable. It's mostly just it's a lot of things to take in at once. Any case though, weapons. You've got Grubdog on the CDS. Yabi sticking with the custom explosion. Alzi gonna go for the K-Pro. Crimpoy's on the splatter scope here, and Tiger's on a Ninja Squid blaster, which might actually pay off in this map.
Yeah, I could definitely see that being nice for pushing up on the plats and being able to.
Yabi there with a really nice assist. Manages to make it so that 11k is now 3 down. Charger left up alone here, going to try and rapidly charge up an inkjet. Is going to come up luckily, but they won't need it. They need it for the next push because everyone went down stopping that one. Oh, nice sniper there from Crimpoy. Hopefully going to be able to activate the Stingray now to stop some jumps from coming in because that is most certainly happening.
Oh, we have a wild push up the side here, but no one to protect the Rainmaker, so they do go down.
The bullet does come in. Oh, Too Fast got wiped. I think they're just going to let that one reset. 16 is a very strong push, but it didn't make it to around 11, which is what you get if you climb up the wall, I believe. So it's a strong push, but I do think that 11k can definitely make it. Also, the Dynamo decided to reset it themselves here. Tiger went down and a beautiful there from Too Fast to Umi. They kind of just perfectly cornered the entirety of 11k's front line and just took them out in mid straight away.
Oh, Crimpoy going down there. That is a nice splat to get to clear the path a bit if Too Fast want to push up here.
Oh, but it looks like 11k's front line is going to respond here. Tiger here trying to get a pick onto the K-Pro, but it's not the easiest job here. They can space you out quite well, and it's exactly what happened there for Tiger. But nobody's looking at the push here. This is looking really, really bad, but Crimpoy barely comes in time to keep it under control. Not a great situation to be in for 11k. They're having a lot of trouble really enacting a presence in mid to start a push of their own right now.
They do have
the splash done,
but yeah.
Hydro's just going to try and push into their base. I don't know if I'd fully recommend this, but it's better than keeping it in mid, I suppose. Stingray's going to go out and try and catch Yabi by the looks of it. Does successfully do so. And, oh, never mind. Now everyone except except Crimpoi is down once again, and Crimpoi is going to have to try and jump out. It's looking pretty rough for 11k this match. They're just having a... Every time they get mid, they go 2 down instantly.
And they do have a bit less painting ability than
that's
when we miss.
That's kind of what happens when you have a Dynamo. Yeah. Plus the double anchor, yeah, it definitely hurts.
You can see how fast the map goes back to being yellow every time they go down. It's probably not helping much at all. That baller, no, not able to get anyone.
Yes, but it's going to pressure there. They did have to push back. Hydra is going to have to just go for a solo run again, because once again they were getting pins in between Alcy and Yabi there.
Yeah, that is a full wipe this time as well. So this would probably be another push from Too Fast to Woomy.
Yeah, this is looking pretty dangerous here. There we go. Tiger gonna try and go for the flank here, but immediately I believe that was the Caper. Immediately took him out there. No mind, it was the CDS. My bad. They both have splat bomb. The armor's up for 11k, but it's looking pretty rough for them right now. You've got Amateur sitting from above here, who does drop down with armor and manages to... I think that was double. I think maybe not. Stingray does come out here. With all of Too Fast there, it's going to be pretty bad, but Hydro goes for the roll. Goes for They dodge rolled into it. That's probably the best part.
Oh, that was very well done there. I mean, there wasn't much they could have done, but...
No, I was really confused with Hydra there. I was like, you're rolling past the jump marker. What's going on? And then, never mind.
Yep, very nice timing on that. Oh boy.
Oh, Tiger does manage to get 3 down now, but considering they need to make a 10 push, and Tiger went down to his splat bomb, not looking the easiest. Crimpoi barely dodges the splat bomb on the marker here, but Hydra's having a lot of trouble enacting a push here. They're going to elect for the uninkable, but not the best move here. Meant that they were just kind of trapped on their own here. Tiger focused on the high ground too much compared to the entirety of Too Fast to Woomy that was pushing in from the lower area. And yeah, 11k's lost map presence again. I think double anchor can work, but I think Dynamo's turf control, although it's strong, it's very contestable. And Charger, once again, it can provide turf control, but not really when it's being pressured. So a lot of times, Too Fast to Woomy's, you know, Explosher CDS comp means they're just completely getting swamped out turf-wise.
That Explosher as well is able to sit way up on the top battlements and just hit people from below without getting itself in any trouble whatsoever.
Yeah.
So
we are seeing Crimpoi here gonna have to pick it up because Charger in overtime, I suppose, is not the most useful, but they're kind of having trouble really pushing forward, getting some picks. They've gotten 2, but they haven't really found a way to break into mid yet. The Explosher sitting on the high ground is going to just prove to be possibly fatal here, as they really struggle to debase it and get the turf control. Tiger and Amateur both go down here. Rainmaker's getting pushed by Image now. It's just a matter of time.
Oh, yeah. When the Rainmaker's the last one up and there's 2 people on them, it's probably not going to go very well. So, yeah, just looking at that map, you can see where 11k were trying to get map control back, but it is quite patchy. They're just not able to get that turf down. Those splats on Too Fast to Woomy as well. 24 splats on Alzy. That is impressive.
Yeah, I saw a lot of pushing in with Image effectively to try and make sure they're shutting down. So there's probably a fair amount of assist traded between the two as they just dominated all of the map control that the rest of the team was giving them. So yeah, not too surprising there. Yeah, onwards to Splatzone's Kelpdome though, and I think both teams have kind of had their performance where one team can completely control the other one. I think I wouldn't be surprised if this one's a little bit more on the even side, because I think as long as Tiger doesn't play like Blaster here and they have good enough turf control, I think the anchor picks between these 2 players are both going to be fairly even. I think.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It will be interesting to see how many of them go up on the grates, because I know Dynamo, at least, having played that before, you can mostly set up on the grates and have a lot more range because you have that height difference, but you are also, of course, then open to getting hit from below and all kinds of things.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I still wouldn't discount it. Especially like if you've got a strong front line that can set up on a flank on the blocks on the grates above. A lot of the time, you can just kind of pop out from there and just get a pick or two because people weren't expecting it. It's a pretty novel tactic, but it can come up. I wouldn't be surprised.
True. Alright, let's see what these teams do for splat zones.
And we're seeing fairly similar stuff. Grub's bringing back the classic Brella here, and Tiger's going for Octobrush, which is certainly interesting. Worked on game 1. You've also got Crimpoid going with a very interesting Capo build. A quick super jump main. I wouldn't be surprised if Crimpoid picked that weapon last minute and didn't get time to adjust gear, because that doesn't look like Capo, get me?
It does look a little bit odd. We do also have Hydro on the ballpoint here, which is an interesting change. So
yeah, this is what Hydro was running throughout most of Season 4. It's not too surprising to see them try and reprise that role once again. We're seeing Tiger here with the Inkjet, trying to get some picks.
nice
Kelly in the end takes out the Explosion. That's pretty big because that's their main provider of turf control. We do see here Alzy going on the flank here, gonna try and get some turf, maybe get some picks here. Does manage to shut up a Booyah Bomb. Hopefully going to be able to find something, which includes a Tiger. But this Grade is going to stop the never mind, I forgot it goes to Grade.
The Kelp is an interesting.
Nice pick there. I don't know if they're going to get the other one though. No, Alzy finds it. It also finds the brush there. Revenge splat there. Tiger does manage to get a pick here, but they do finally lose control. So it's looking like too fast to Image got the trade on Tiger there. It's looking like too fast to Umi here. Finally going to try and get some turf control of their own, but Alzy immediately goes down between the Junior and the Capo here. Grub managed to get a fine pick on
that. Was a nice shot.
Yeah. Having some trouble maintaining the turf. Going to have to retreat quite a lot here. Too fast to Umi's 2 down. The zone 3 caps. That was really fast.
We've got an Inkjet coming out as well. Grub will survive by the look of it.
Yeah, this map isn't the strongest for Inkjet. It is in one particular area, and everywhere else it's a little bit now. So we've got the rain coming out from Grub Dog right exactly when I thought it would come out. And I don't know if Grub. I'm not sure about that deploying the bow there. It works, but I don't think Grub realized that Crim was the person behind them the entire time.
Yeah, you were able to see Crim just on the corner of the screen there, but easy to miss when you're actually playing. So unfortunately got flanked.
Yeah, we are seeing Alzy here going for a bit of a try to attempt to try and push up on the ballpoint here from Hydro, but with the armor up, it's going to be a pretty bad spot for Alzy. Going to have to activate the Booyah Bomb, the trusty Booyah Bomb, to make the play. But too fast to Umi is rapidly losing turf right now. The Abbey's kind of left on the high ground, all by themselves pretty much here. Does manage to get taken out by Emichu here, and although we do see Alzy in the enemy base, Tiger cleans it up quite nicely here, and it's looking like 11k. I think Tiger went down. Yabby on the drop down here is proving to be quite difficult for 11k to effectively deal with. I think the best method would be getting Hydro up there. Hydro, unfortunately, not having the best map presence at the moment, so not able to really challenge it super well.
Yeah, this is definitely a map where you want to be taking out someone who can paint the zone from a distance, like the Explosh there. Because even if you take out the rest of the team, they're still just going to keep painting it. So we got the Booyah coming out again.
Right on the ledge right now. Can't really get challenged and provides free lead now because the enemy couldn't drop down from there. Nice. Very nice 2v1 there. Jumped over the corner there. Popping everyone's armor. Does manage to take out Hydro. Very
nice.
Under there. Beautiful plays from Alzy. Nothing else to put it, really.
That combination of the rain and the Booyah as well, that is slightly terrifying to look at, just because the amount of AoE damage that would be doing.
Yeah, that was...
That happened a couple of times, and that's an interesting combination, but it works. Yeah. Nice KO there to Too Fast to Wumi.
Yeah, I remember I was watching a pickup scrim last night, and I saw Skitter and Sai do no, it wasn't Skitter and Sai, it was Skitter and I forgot the other person, but point is, it was Soda Slosher and an Inkjet, and then the Inkjet comes up from above, starts throwing Inkjet shots down on people. and then the Soda Slosher from below starts chucking up bomb rushes on people, and everyone is getting chipped by everything. and I was really surprised I'd never seen it until then.
Yeah, that would actually work pretty well. When you have so many, you basically have more players on the field at that point because there's so much of the map just suddenly becomes hostile to the enemy team. Yeah, any kind of combination of weapons and specials that can achieve that kind of, AoE effect. Definitely a good strategy in a lot of cases, I think.
Time for the TC Piranha Pit match, the regulated bedtime.
Yeah, pretty much. This map in general is just bizarre, and TC on this map I find can be so hard just to get through the first part of the push, but then once you get that, I find it easier to get the second half.
I think the second half, it really depends on how many people went down when you went through the first half, because the second checkpoint can be quite easy to deal with, but it's only if you have people up to actually deal with it.
Yeah, that's true. And to be fair, we do have some long range in this. We do have Crim on the scope, potentially, which can be quite nice for shutting down the second half of the push. So, be interesting to see what they play here.
Yes, it will. And as we get into Piranha Pit, we'll see exactly what they are going to be playing. Okay, yep, we see Grub on the Cancer Undercover, pretending it's still July, and you've got Crimboy here. Undercover actually has a really bad time against main up with damage up, because it means the shield HP is effectively lower, and it has a lot harder time just getting those barely, like, shield broke but you're on 2 HP kind of situations, because the shield breaks a lot sooner. So I think that's, like, from my observations, I think that's one of the reasons this weapon has fallen out of the meta is, did you see how much damage Crimboy got onto that Brother Shield within 1 second of jumping in? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and when you have Clash, Ballpoint, Crow, ends up on the other team, those are all going to shred it pretty quickly. So that does not feel like a good matchup at all.
Yeah. Honestly, I would say Vanilla Bella might be better than Cancer Undercover on this at this point. Just a tower support weapon. In any case, though, Too Fast Umi does go 3 down here. Grobber's is the only one up, but against the Clash Blaster, does manage to get the splat. That is surprising. Hydra here gonna attempt to shred the shield, but didn't move away enough, so Grub ends up getting a clean, I don't know if it was double or a double assist, but it was something similar. And, yeah, complete reversal there. Just took Grub alone to make it from a 3 down to a 3 down on the other side, so maybe I shouldn't be speaking so bad of the Undercover.
I mean, I guess it all depends on what you're used to using and playstyles and such, so maybe Grub is just okay with this brawler. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, if you can aim with a Cancer Undercover, I have all respect for you, because that seems like an impossible task.
Alright, Inkjet and Explosh coming out here. Once again, we have a bit of crazy AoE. Yes, nice. Nice teamwork there.
That was smooth. There's no other way of putting it. And unfortunately, the armor comes up, so I couldn't even attempt that with Tiger.
Yeah, that Clash doing Clash things, basically.
Yeah, the way I put the Clash is, you can complain about it, but the Clash is a skill check on you, not a skill check on them, so...
Yeah, that is a good way of thinking about it. You need to know how to deal with that Clash to be able to survive it, and especially on the little pokey bits of this map, that's going to be rather hard.
Yeah, and you can see Tiger here going for it, does manage to get the trade onto Grub. That's interesting. We do see that 11k is actually past the checkpoint so far, Too Fast Doing Cabin, and you've got this great pressure from Hydro and Emichi trying to push Yabby out of the way here. Hydro does actually manage to get the trade on the tower here. Crimboy does go down, and with the Clash left as the only one up, it's going to be not very feasible to keep this push going up any longer. Good efforts though. I think there's been a lot of there's been a pretty equal spread of KDs across both of these, and I think every team's been having good pushes of their own. It's just so far I think that 11k is having a better time with actually setting up on them a lot of the time. Like, especially the way these armors are working. Like, just looking at the count now, I think that 11K's armors have been a lot more effective in execution than Too Fast Umi's. Like, a lot of the time, the front lines have already gotten the trade or so before Grubdog can actually build up one. And as you can see, Grubdog went down there with only 45 special. Really doesn't give the team any kind of support. Then I think that's just my issues with the undercover in general. As I find that the support that weapon brings is very, very isolated in its actual range.
Yeah, if you're running an armor weapon, especially on TC, you want to be able to build it quickly so you can use it whenever it's needed. So if your weapon can't build it fast enough, then it's not going to be particularly useful.
And I think for what it's worth, like the Explosher with the double shooter is interesting.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. The Explosher and the double shooter actually hurts their armor generation more because there's less passive turf for Grubdog to be able to actually pick up against. And then there's also a Clash Blast for just bullying Grub.
Oh, we have 3 down now. Well, looks like 11K are going for a bit of turf at the moment, just trying to set up for another push, maybe defend. We do only have 45 seconds left, so this may just be...
It's a pretty volatile push though, because there's only really a checkpoint separating them. But it is first checkpoint, so it's manageable. Nice pick there. Immediately takes out the 10 attack here. But they're 1 down. Clash is down. Clash is down. National emergency. Hydro, though, getting in a bit of a bad spot there. Does manage to get taken out. Now Clash is the only one up to try and stop this.
Yeah, they need to push that. They need to stop that very soon, because that is counting down quite quickly. But past the checkpoint. I think they don't have very long.
Oh, they got on the tower, but it's looking really bad for them. If anything, chat is interesting right now.
I should keep getting distracted by it. Alright, we're pushing now. We got a few more points here. Hydra's coming in.
Probably it. I think Hydra's...
Oh!
You jinxed it, chat. You jinxed it.
Oh, that was rough at the end there. Yeah, I feel like...
I think they really needed to just stay calm and try and build up some... I think what they probably could have done is maybe made it so that the Clash just ran at tower and distracted the enemy while the rest of the team built up the special. That might have helped them more, but as it stood, they kind of just all rushed tower at once, and it meant they never really got the picks they needed to stabilize the push.
Yeah, it did seem like a bit of panic took over there, which is very much a thing in competitive that you have to learn to deal with. But that was very close. I mean, when you do only have, they had less than 20 points separating them, which they had a checkpoint, which slows things down a bit, but still 20 points. That doesn't take long to get through. I think that's 15 seconds or something. So, yeah, that was certainly a bit of a rough end to that match, but very nice showing from both the teams, that's for sure.
Yes, and as an update for the rest of the round, we've got Midnight 3-1 Venomous, and then you've got Walk the Plankton, which got a 3-1 against Krillbell. You've got Team Materna getting a 3-0 against Nameless, and then that's our result. So I think the only one missing so far is Gale Force and Atlantic, which isn't too surprising. They're probably fairly matched up, well, I'd say. So I wouldn't be surprised if that one goes to game 4 or 5 compared to the rest of the...
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what matchups we get in the last round, because I don't know, some of these are getting fairly close. Although we do have a 3-way tie for 3rd place at the moment, which I'm slightly entertained by. Although we do have results haven't come in yet on Challenge. So should I update? I might update some of those quickly.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And I guess while you're doing that, I'll talk about the upcoming map list, which compared to that one, it's looking a lot tamer. If you're having a seizure from chat, I recommend putting it into dark mode. That way the bright colors will kind of not be there as much, and it's not going to hurt your eyes as much. Round 5 is going to be Splat Zones on Anchovy, then Rainmaker on Inkblot, TC on Moray, followed with Clan Blitz on Port, and finally Splat Zones on Manta. It's going to be a pretty action-packed one to end this seeding tournament on. And hopefully there's going to be a really interesting round for us to, a match for us to end this stream on. As a reminder, though, we have -1 recorder. We're still recording a lot of these, just one less per round. So We're still trying to make sure we have results of every team so far. I think the only one we're missing now is... I think we might be missing recordings for Krillbill. I might be mistaken on that, but we might want to get Andrew for that.
Yeah, Krillbill and Giga, I think.
Wasn't Giga already recorded once or twice, or am I mistaken?
I think so. Maybe we should check with the teams. That's probably the easiest way.
Yeah.
All right, I think I have updated challenge now. Which, let me see what the standings are actually like right now. We've still got one more game coming in for this round. And at the moment... Oh, okay. Too Fast, Too Wimmy and Gale Force are both on 3-0 at the moment. And they are not versing each other, so I'm assuming we'll probably... it depends what Gale Force's result is for the next match, I guess.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh yes, Too Fast had a bye, that's why. Okay. Team Midnight on 3 wins, 1 loss. Venomous on 2 wins, 2 losses. Okay. We're slowly getting like an actual ordering to these teams, which is what we actually need because this is a seeding tournament. Yeah. So ties make seeding divisions very difficult.
I'm conflicted about this because I think realistically round 5 is probably going to be Gale Force versus Too Fast, Too Wimmy. Either that or it might be Midnight versus Too Fast, Too Wimmy. I think that hasn't happened either, actually.
That's true. We've already had Gale Force versus Midnight. So Challenge should not do that again.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, yes. It is Challenge. Nothing is impossible. But all right.
So if everything goes perfectly, we get a Giga Squad versus Krillbill, and then a Too Fast, Too Wimmy versus Midnight, and then we can cover everything at once, and we'll be very happy.
That would be nice, yes. Remember, I recorded Krillbill in like the first round, so we have actually seen them.
Oh, okay. I forgot that people actually recorded stuff in the first round because we kind of didn't do anything.
Yeah, I think I did miss the first game. No, wait, no, I didn't do it first. I swear I've recorded them at some point. All right, time to go through the Discord history. This is why it's so nice to have everything just in the one channel in Discord, because I can just scroll up, go find everything. Where am I? Gale Force Krillbill I recorded. So round 2. Okay. So it is mostly Giga then, I think.
Okay. That makes our job a fair bit easier then, because we just need to catch them. Unless... No, their bye round was last round, so they'll still be here. Okay.
Yeah, that's the point. That would be really unfortunate if we wanted to watch a team and they have a bye in the last round. Whoops.
I think we're just... All it took was one match and a lot of people to make Hydro the best player. Congratulations to Hydro. Let's get a round of applause and shout.
I did notice the fan club and everything. Aww. Hydro is one of the Queensland players, so for those who aren't in the Queensland server, there was already a bit of a... I guess I should call it a meme, but it also feels like meme is the wrong word. But Protect Hydro was already a thing, so...
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense then.
Oh, it's in general too at the moment. Okay.
Yeah, that just happens. I don't have
Yep.
a Komodo harp to use on Discord sadly.
Alright. Looks like when... Actually, what was that match?
We're just waiting on a certain match that is causing a certain amount of issues, but no need to worry about that.
Yep. And that is game 4 that they're on, so they should be done fairly soon. Someone did message me earlier this morning and asked how long the tournament would go for. And my response, if I remember correctly, was it's 5 rounds of best of 5, so technically it should be 2.5 hours. But realistically, it's going to be more like 3.5 because Australian internet. So
Yeah.
It turns out, it looks like I was about right.
Yeah.
As always, Australian internet has caused a few delays, but
I mean, overall, I think it's went mostly smooth. It's mostly just been, if everything here was a 3-0, it would have ended a long time ago, but...
yeah, we've been slowly getting more and more games coming through. We only had 1 3-0 so far in this round. And, well, the last game we know is only game 4 of it. So, yeah, only 1 3-0 in this round, which is nice. The Swiss is actually working. It's slowly giving better matches.
Yeah.
It will be interesting. I'm fully expecting that next weekend's seeding tournament will be quite a bit larger, as usual.
Yeah, I think it'll help that sign-ups are closed. I'm sure most people want to play in it in that situation because there'll be more teams ready to commit, I suppose.
Yeah, a few teams are still sorting out the rosters, that kind of thing. That's definitely been something that held back a few teams this weekend. And actually, I should mention while we're talking about it, if any teams can't make next Saturday and you were Div 4 to 7 last season, there is also Circuit Down Under next Sunday, which will be counted towards seeding. So you do also have that option. It's not counted quite as much. We would prefer people to play the seeding tournaments if possible, but if you can't make Saturday, you do also have the option of Circuit Down Under on the Sunday night, I think. Yeah, we will be announcing a form sometime this week for teams to put in details of other tournaments they've entered that count towards seeding. So keep an eye out for that. We've got, I think there's three community tournaments that count off the top of my head. So yeah, that will be a thing soon. Also, a couple of other announcements once we finished a couple of things.
Oh, there we go. We finally got results. It is Gale Force 3-2 to Atlantic. Lag complaints aside, it looks like it was a pretty close game.
Yeah, alright. That means we have that done. I will leave that to Nico to do the challenge stuff. Alright, so that gives us a win on Gale Force's side. Alright, that will put them in first place for now, because that means they are currently 4-0.
Okay.
So...
Oh, I was going to say Venomous Squids versus Atlantic would happen, but I forgot that already has happened, and Venomous Squids has a bye this round, so that's too nice for that.
Yep, well, that works. Let's see. Alright, let's see if these games come through. I was just catching up on chat and I'm very abused again. Yeah, so for DM me for a Queensland server invite if you really want.
There we go. We got it. We got... Oh, why did you do this? No. Why did you do this? Shalom. It was right there. It would have been perfect and you ruined it.
Oh, of course. Yep.
I guess we can go for Meta Knight versus Walk the Plankton, because they haven't really been featured on stream yet at all. That would probably be not the best team to...
We have...
Gale Force versus Too Fast to Win is likely going to be more even, but at the same time, we've featured both of them on stream already at least once, so it kind of feels like repeating.
And we have recorded Too Fast once or twice as well. So, yeah, I'd say probably Midnight versus Walk the Plankton. Oh, and we did get Giga versus Nameless, so that was a good match for Andrew to grab.
Yeah, that'll be lovely.
Oh, nice. All right. Oh, wow, the Queensland server. Oh, dear.
Okay, I'm going to guess there's a lot of things going on there.
Well, it was this entire morning, it was basically Goose Game stuff. And then it suddenly just switches to Hydro.
Yeah,
so...
okay.
Oh, alright. You're all gonna fit in perfectly because Queensland server is ridiculously like positive and sweet and like yes. Hydra is part of the welcoming committee, for those who don't know. We have an actual welcoming committee that says hi to people and like helps them get used to the server and like know what they're gonna do when like all this stuff. Hydra's part of that. So can confirm Hydra is precious. Definitely agree with this.
I love looking at that comparison because the SA server has a knockoff logo, 3 channels, the meetup one is called Macca's Run, and there's no roles, and it's very bare bones.
Yep. Queensland server has too many channels, put it that way, too many roles. So we have a cute and fluffy channel for animal photos and videos. So I mean, we're doing pretty well. I'm very proud of the Queensland server.
We have a server that makes me want to walk 200 meters and get some nuggets. So.
Oh jeez.
All right, well, we're ready for this midnight versus Walk the Plankton lobby. Everyone's set up. I believe I went over the game 5 matches, but if not, I'm pretty sure I'll be on the stream overlay anyway. So let's just have some fun and not think about food because I haven't eaten lunch and I'm hungry.
Yeah, that was yes. I went and had a piece of toast before. That helped. I did mean to make coffee earlier and I forgot, so I've been slightly sad about that. But we're good. Yeah,
and we're finally going to be getting into round 5 here, starting off with Splat Zones Anchovies. Certainly one of the more interesting Splat Zone maps. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, this is probably favored for Midnight anyway, just based on prior performances from these teams. But this is going to be heaven for Yasuna. This is a great roll. There's nothing else to say about it. It's just a wonderful, wonderful roller map. You can go everywhere in this.
Having played against Medical far too many times for my heart, Medical is also kind of terrifying on this map. So
I mean, Medical's just mildly terrifying no matter where you are, because it's like I've got this great lag analogy, but I'll explain it here. But I'm not going to use it to explain Medical. I'm just going to pivot from there. My lag analogy is, right, you can open a door, right? Some doors are going to open inward, some are going to open outward. What lag does is you grab to open the door, and then the door just moves its position entirely. But that is not expected motion, right? That is what lag does. That's what it means to deal with lag. But if we're using that analogy, right, most charges are going to be like a door that opens outward, and then Medical's the one that opens inward and slams you in the face. You don't expect it. That's what Medical is.
That works. That is a pretty good analogy. Oh my goodness. Like, even running into Medical in Splatfest multiple times and getting completely outsplatted, out-turfed, everything. It's like, all right, yep, this is how it goes when you're versing Medical. But we'll have to see how Walk the Plankton do here, because you never know.
Yeah, they're definitely on the back foot, though, that's for certain.
Alright, Splat Zones Anchovy. Let's have a look at these weapons.
Okay.
Oh.
And, okay. Yasuna on the... Tent. Okay, vanilla tent. I always get really concerned when I see a vanilla tent, because the vanilla and the Sorella look so similar, it always panics me. I'm like, are you picking the wrong weapon here? Anyway, we've got the double Splattershot Pro coming out from Midnight. They just want to be oppressive today. But
one is a crow there, so...
Yeah. Just is normally very much known for the vanilla Splattershot. Vanilla Splattershot Pro, that is. But obviously Just isn't playing this time, so it's up to Ashimari, the new player, and Atomic to play those roles instead. Either way, though, you're actually seeing that they're proving to us that their kind of wacky comp here, Midnight's that is, isn't really working out for them as Walk the Plankton get a very commanding lead so far.
Yeah, this entire mid and several other parts of the map are just green at the moment. That was a nice splat there. We got 2 down on Walk the Plankton, but...
Yeah, it's looking like
Ooh, nice
Caper here, just trying to take out... Oh, very nice. Just the one tap here. Okay, there we go. Now Midnight's dubious composition, it is going to work out. I definitely think that... Oh, nice pick there. I think the Stingray meant they were just damaged enough for a 2-shot. I was very concerned about Yasuna's 10 pick here. Not that I distrust Yasuna's 10, but I trust Yasuna's roller a lot more. In case, though, we're seeing roller from someone else. I can't grab the name right now, unfortunately. But they've got all specials ready. Looking like they're going to try and break back into mid now. They do manage to take out Yasuna here, but with the double K-Pros up now, Sidan's going to be forced to move out of the way. One goes down here, but the bubbles are still being taken. Bubbles are going to come out from Sidan here, but the BR bomb onto the zone means that it hasn't fully taken over until the bubbles popped at least.
That was nice. I think the bubbles just missed getting hit by the Booyah there, so good timing, even though I think it was accidental.
Yeah, a bit lucky, but you know, you can't really discount luck. We are seeing Ray here tries to go for a bit of an interesting play, but Found no one out of 3 people here. Medical going to go for the Stingray here. Unfortunately, isn't able to find anyone just yet, but got plenty of hits on them. Looks like the zone's going to be under their control though. However, Atomic does go down to the bubbles, and I think so did the other Splash Cup pro there, Ashimari. So Midnight's going to be forced to back out of the zone now. I think Medical's might just going to go. Yes, very very close, but did make the jump out.
Looks like Matthew has done a bit of flanking here and is sitting up in Midnight's base, so does have to fall down there, but has played distraction for quite a while there and gotten quite a bit done.
Yeah, penalty's almost been removed. We're seeing the rain coming from the left side drop in Midnight's side means that all of Walk the Plankton was forced out of that way with the rain, and now they've been forced into the Stingray. But the armor coming up means a lot of this plan didn't quite work. Lead has been taken, but it's only just barely been taken. So with 2 minutes left, I think Lead can only switch over about 2 more times. It's definitely possible that Midnight can take this, but I could see it going either way, honestly.
Yeah, this is very close right now. Just depends who
Atomic's kind of pushed in a little too deep to try and push after Shady, but luckily the 10 shield from Yasna, meaning that the escape is nice and safe here. You've got the rain coming out now, gonna try and force the enemies out even further, but Ashimari does go down here, and it's looking like the bubbles here are gonna be a bit of an escape, but I don't think Midnight noticed, but the flank from Shady, the zone was capped perfectly. It was, I think, I'm not sure what is going on there because I see Medical was on the flank watch, being where the Charger would normally position themselves, but obviously it doesn't seem to have worked this time because for whatever reason all the bubbles were able to get put out and Medical wasn't in a position to stop it.
Yeah, I think Shady was using those bubbles as cover very well there.
Yeah,
nice.
Okay, zone's capped again. 40 penalty. Not the worst, but Ashimari there with a bit of an awkward push in there against 2 people. Perfectly challengeable. Yeah, this is not looking the easiest for Midnight right now. I think this unorthodox comp is really going to be the undoing of them. Then it just doesn't really have the offensive pressure that they would assume it has. I think.
Yeah, we've got these bubbles coming in constantly. I think it's double bubbles on Walk the Plankton here. That is just able to cap the zone or put pressure or defend a push so well. Ooh, Shady going down there. Maybe.
Yeah. I think it's also just like the Splattershot pros kind of have bad painting.
Yes, they really do.
It's still pretty much just entirely based on the penalties. Both teams are 2 down, however. It could go both ways, but considering that Atomic just went down and now Yasin is left to solo the zone with the 10, it's not looking likely anymore. Yeah,
nice work there at the end.
Yeah, I think that comp definitely had a good idea on it. I think it just turf control is something that I think a lot of teams fail to really take into account sometimes about how much they can actually enact. I think sometimes when you play these low turf weapons, you don't really think about what it means to do that, and it just means a lot of the time contesting mid control can become a lot harder, despite the fact you would assume it would be easier.
Yeah, like you need range is good, but you need to have the turf control to be able to keep pushing forward. And if you can get enough splats that it doesn't matter that you don't have like the turf painted and you can push forward anyway, then fine. But when you're trying to get back into a map, I think particularly Anchovy, because it has like the zone is lower than everything around it. You need to sort of paint it up before you fall down into it so you can actually move around it safely. And if you can't paint it up, then you'll be falling down into enemy ink, and that makes all kinds of things difficult. So it was, yeah, maybe if they managed to get more specials out, managed to get a few more picks or something, maybe it would have worked then.
They got a decent amount of specials out. I just don't think they were able to sync them up effectively in a way that like pressured the enemy properly. In any case, though, Rainmaker Inkblot is certainly going to be a pretty big testing ground now. I wouldn't be surprised if Midnight goes back to a slightly more standard comp. Maybe obviously Medical being a dedicated charger means that Ashimari was playing Anchor before Medical was in the lobby, but I think that's kind of the reason why they went double K-Pro. But Atomic has a pretty mean Slosher Umbrella. I wouldn't be surprised. I think there's plenty of other weapons that Atomic could go into that that would affect the match in a more positive way, especially because both of those paint more.
Yes, that is true. And Slosher on this is so nice, but hitting people up above you. So maybe?
Yeah. I don't know though. I haven't seen Atomic play social much since the in-between season. And indeed, I'll be wrong. CDS coming out. They clearly thought they liked turf control, and I think this has been a bit of an overreaction. But at the same time, I won't exactly hopefully won't punish them for it. And
the other team does have. Walk the Plankton does have a lot of turfing ability right now, so maybe it could be good to sort of index into it.
Could.
Oh, nice splat there by Medical, getting that snipe onto the Rainmaker.
Okay, Atomic tried to roll in to take out the Rainmaker, but I think they didn't. When Medical got the snipe, they ran out of their target, and then the brush just immediately punished Medical for. Immediately punished Atomic for trying to push in again. But luckily here. Oh, does manage to barely get the pick here. Gonna have to go for the splashdown to regenerate their health. Always a bit of a do-or-die kind of situation there, but luckily worked out for us. Yeah, Midnight's got the actual map control now. Hopefully they can Oh, they've also got the heavy out of the way. That's really important now. Yasuno isn't able to immediately find the pick onto the K-shot though. Oh, and they go 1 down, 2 down. Medical gonna go for the block run to try and keep themselves alive, but unfortunately it's not gonna work out for them. Yeah, that's a straight wipe. It was a good enough push that gave them points on the board, but certainly isn't going to be the winning push of this match here. Shady went for a bit of a hammer there, but it immediately kind of did a fail here. Going to have to go for the and just kind of give up on that hammer there. Unfortunate, especially because that just happens.
Yeah, we have 3 down now, Walk the Plankton, so this is going to be another push. We do have Sidedown up with the heavy, but never mind. Sidedown goes down.
Yeah, CDS is a bit of an anchor killer. I can kind of just jump in and out of the way. Medical gets the push all the way to 17. That's not a winning push, but Atomic is still up into their plat and could easily keep them and get them some jump-ins, keep the turf control up, and we do indeed see a lot of jumps here. We're going to have to go for the suction bomb and just panic. Unfortunately, doesn't really work out for them here. Yasuno going to try and chase the Rainmaker, possibly to their death. Someone's going to die no matter what here, and it looks like Yasuno does manage out getting a pick or 2. In fact, that's a wipe for Walker Plankton here. Midnight once again able to keep up some turf control in mid. Really allows Yasuno to push in, and you can see by those KDs that giving Yasuno turf when they're playing roller gives a lot of opportunities for Yasuno.
Yeah, that's what you really need when you're running a roller. Have someone else there painting so that they can move in and
at the start of season 4, when I was playing with I was playing most of the dedicated roller before I picked up Roller, I only played CDS.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, alright, we have a couple of down on Midnight now, so we're thinking maybe but Matthew runs into a shooter here and
gonna have to go for some bombs, maybe jump up, maybe not. Jumping up probably would be the safer option at this point, but you're playing aggressive here. Luckily does manage to push Atomic into a corner. I think one of the dodge rolls was wasted on the little sign there, which probably didn't help them much either. But Medical here gonna go for some pretty weird, just keeping it in their base really, which is still a good effort, and it means that Walker Plankton has much more uphill battle to work around. I think someone's up there, actually. Yeah, Ray notices it, but I don't think they can deal with it in time. It was Yasuno, clearly, and Yasuno has been taken. Ray here having a lot of time, making a real great presence in mid at the moment here, kind of forced to just constantly be on the back end here. I think it doesn't help that Splattershot versus this team either gets outranged or it doesn't, and then it dives to the roller instead in a trade.
Although saying that, Ray just got a triple.
Yeah. So okay. Nice. Yeah. I would like to mention that was a really awkward play for Atomic at the end there because he was trapped in a corner, and when a CES is being approached by someone, and normally wants to just hit the B stick while hitting the B button while holding down on the stick, but Atomic would have hit in the water at that point.
Oh, here we go.
Actually getting a run here. It was lead by 1 point with 1 minute left. I think Midnight still has really good pressure and ability to push in, but I think this is not going to be a lead that can. This is a lead that Midnight can contest, is what I'm trying to get. That was really. Yeah. Ray getting that triple really set up Midnight, and then think they're out of position to stop the Rainmaker effectively. It was really well planned out here. I think it was Sidedown getting the pick here, with the armor coming out meant the Yasuno down. Complete wipe indeed.
Nice work. Alright. 30 seconds left. Walk Plankton don't need to do anything right now, but they do only have a 1 point lead. So they're going to be wanting to be very careful at the moment no matter what they do.
15 seconds left. Oh my god.
Yes,
that might be the
with
hit
that.
they need.
Oh.
They're 2 down. Most of their front lines are up. However, the Stingray's out. They're going to have to make sure Medical uses the Stingray ASAP here to try and use this effectively here. Raid does go down. That's fairly important here. Sidehand is forced to burn the Stingray, but Atomic might have some trouble escaping this Junior Stingray combo.
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
That was just a moment of lapse from Midnight's defense is what cost that entire match, and that's really unfortunate because they had their foot forward that entire time, and then their shoelaces got tied.
That's one way to put it. Yes. Yeah, that was a very nice turnaround there from Walk the Plankton. That push at the end there might have gone through, but like you said, the Stingray and the Junior just sort of teaming up there, especially with that angle that the Stingray has, where I think the entire team that was up was in the Stingray because they were all clumped up there.
It could have worked, but I think Midnight failed to put someone up to try and deal with the drop down because you really need that on the overtime push there because people can just jump from above and take out the Rainmaker normally.
Yeah, definitely.
Any case though, this is now game point for the Plankton, which is certainly not what I thought this match would start off with. But, yeah, TC Moray.
Yeah, they're doing very well. I am curious now how much Walk the Plankton has been practicing between seasons. Because
I know they've scrimmed Venomous Squids quite a fair amount in between the seasons, so it wouldn't surprise me if there's been some improvement since then. Yeah, but obviously Midnight here in a bit of a rough spot. I think that match was they clearly had that one for most of it. It was just one very minor mistake became a major mistake, and yeah, that's just how it works sometimes in Splatoon. Obviously, we're not going to talk about the first match. That was something else entirely.
True. Yeah, when your games are maximum 5 minutes long, a couple of seconds of inattention or going down for three or four people going down, it can make all the difference. And this map coming up, Moray Towers TC, I feel like this is another map where it's also very true. Partly because it takes a while to get back in, and it's Moray. Getting back in can be kind of really annoying.
I'd say it's a little bit easier on TC just because of where the enemy wants to try and focus themselves on mostly, but it can still be pretty rough depending on how it's played.
True. If this was a Rainmaker or something, I would be slightly more terrified, but...
If it was Rainmaker, I'd be questioning Nico.
Fair. Alright. Let's have a look at these weapons.
Okay, yeah, we're seeing, Atomic with the Brilla, Ashamari on the Clash Blaster, double Stingray, why not?
Okay.
When your lead's on the line, I guess that happens. Atomic on the Splat Relic here, great pick. And obviously we've got the K-Shot from Ray once again, Junior from Matthew once again. Pretty much, I think all of Walk the Plankton is sticking with their weapon choices, except obviously you've got Shetty here on the Carbon Deco now instead of the K-Roller.
I feel like Matthew was just jumping on the tower just then to just be annoying, sort of get someone's attention. It can work sometimes just to jump on the tower briefly so people can sort of turn their attention to you. Nice work there.
Hey, this Junior plus Stingray combo is surprisingly effective. People are so busy dodging the Stingray that the turf control is taken from underneath them and then they get taken out by something that can duck in and out of ink in 2 frames.
Yeah, it's working very well. I mean, as soon as you paint under someone's feet, they're also taking this environmental damage. So that is also helping the Stingray. Medical here trying to get this angle.
Oh, gonna get hit by Stingray instead, forced to jump out. They've almost got a Stingray of their own, which might be useful considering that Walk the Plankton here is rapidly gaining the points now. Ashamari kind of just forced in a rough spot. Does manage to get one pick, but unfortunately, Stingray takes out another. I'm not sure exactly where Shetty is right now, and that mildly terrifies me from Ashamari's PvP.
Yeah, that's... Not knowing where the roller is always a problem.
Okay, I think we found the roller.
Yep. That makes it a little bit obvious. Oh, and immediately goes down, so someone at midnight managed to deal with it.
Yeah, for what it's worth, Walk the Plankton didn't make it past the stacking checkpoint, so... Oh, that pick onto the... yeah, that pick onto the Stingray there could really help them. They're going to be able to pass first checkpoint here pretty easily now, as Midnight starts to set up into their base. They're having a lot of trouble. But Carbon Deco here, being the one that can make the tower, unfortunately, between the Stingray and Atomic, that's not going to happen. First checkpoint is getting passed now. Hopefully, hopefully Midnight here is going to be able to start setting up on the rest of them here. Atomic going to try and win this 1v1 against Ray. Trivial as Umbrella to win a 1v1 most times here, as they're almost able to demonstrate again and again. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright, we have Sidam watching this, but 5, 4, 3.
Well,
yeah.
I'm just yeah, that was a great comeback, but you know, people say that people say Brella can't win 1v2s, and although that's true, the thing about a 1v2 is it requires both people to be shooting at you at the same time. So if you want to win a 1v2 as a Brella, all you need to do is make the enemy be distracted enough that they aren't shooting you at the same time. There's a great clip, I think, I don't know if it was from Tarbo, but it might have been, where they get like a triple kill running up the base into Moray Towers. And there were 2 people on the block right at the very like top, right below the drop down at a base. And what Tarbo did there, at least I believe it was Tarbo, ended up going behind the block, being like the clown from It, you know, with the boat, right? They get one person to go in, then they immediately take them out, and then the other person has a delayed response to the fact that they tried to attack the Brella. Then they come in and they get taken out. So if you want to take out 2 people as a Brella, all you need to do is take out one person while the other person isn't exactly looking at you, and then you can take out the other person like it never happened.
Yeah. True.
That's exactly what Atomic did there. You know, that looked like it was a very difficult situation, but the enemies just kind of walked into his Brella, and there wasn't much Atomic had to do there except drop shield when they weren't shooting at him, and it was the end of the story.
Yeah, it probably helped as well that Moray, like the ramps of Moray are quite narrow, and sure, there's the ramp, the sort of the curve there that you can go around on, but it did probably make it a bit harder for the enemies to like flank the Brella there. Because the worst thing that happens is if you're in a 2v1 and you end up with people on both sides of you, the person behind you is just going to get the splat. So definitely keeping both of them in front of your shield as well. That worked out very well.
Yeah.
We looks like chat wants some game 5s. We might yet.
Yeah,
we do have Clan Blitz Port though, and
this Clan Blitz Port, I think I dislike that a lot because I find defense on this is a nightmare.
Yes.
So I wouldn't be surprised if the Stingrays coming out from Midnight are going to be something that really helps them here, just to be able to clear out the basket and say, don't go here anymore, please.
Yeah, I'm fully expecting to see at least 1 Stingray, if not 2. We might see the Stingray Junior combo again. That has been working rather well. Be curious. Okay.
And Atomic deciding it's my turn to play tent now.
Sure, why not?
Turf control might be a little lacking coming from Midnight with this comp, but it's a pretty small map, so it probably won't be a huge deal. Plus, Umbrella can just shut down an entire area, which we're hopefully going to be able to see here. We're also seeing, obviously, Cancer Brush here coming again. Stamp is quite powerful here. Powerful enough to take out 2 of them, apparently. Yeah, well, this is pretty commanding start here with Matthew just coming in with the bubbles. But the L3 goes down before anything can happen here. Shady's stuck with the Stamp here, but Stamp from Midnight does go down too early. Ashen is stuck without Turf, which I kind of thought might happen. Sub 50 in an instant. That's just how this map goes now.
Midnight, why not?
Kind of stuck in a really bad spot now. Bubbles kind of blocked out the left exit, so they were forced to right them, and it's worked out for them to the point where I think Sidon wasn't able to get in the clams and missed them somehow. So the push stops at 44, which is still pretty rough. They can come back from this. It's going to be a question of if they can, especially with that, with the panic vehicle from the flanking junior.
Let's get the splat though. So.
Unfortunate they had to waste it though, but it's already back to about 30% on the charge again, I think, Already up to 40 now, 50, because the passive generation when you're holding a clam is ridiculous, combined with some turf control. The BR bomb is already at 70% charge, it was used maybe 15 seconds ago. When the Stingray comes out, manages to take out 1 here. Sidon left alive though, so no push yet, but Midnight's in a pretty commanding spot turf-wise, clam-wise, to try and make a push of their own. It's just a question of what actually happens here.
Yeah, we do have special on the tent at the moment. Looks like they might be pushing in, trying to... No? Here we go. All right, here's the hammer.
Yasuna goes for the flank here. Unfortunate.
Nice.
Immediately, Atomic gets cornered, but takes out one, takes out two. I think I don't know what took out the third one. Made him stop getting the third one, but it did happen. We've got Yasuna going in for the YOLO push here, but immediately the rest of Midnight has to back off. So I don't think that was really a great idea.
Yeah, coming in again, but 3v1 on Yasuna. Was not able to get those splats. Alright. Well, Midnight really need to get some turf down, but like we said before, they are lacking in turfing ability, so I guess they're going to be trying to get some splats and then sort of snowball off that.
I mean, it's compared to an L3 and a Junior as well. This is really hard to maintain turf no matter what you're trying.
Yeah. That looks like we might have Spinner coming in. Unfortunately goes down. Matthew... Oh.
Okay, a lot of them are down, but I don't think... No. Atomic and that are going to try and solo it. Ray does get taken out by the hammer. Does mean Medical can get some in. They're going to jump in. Hopefully they can get some more clams in. They're in prime spot to take a lead now. It just depends on what Atomic does here. The shield's going to come out in the perfect time here. Now the stamp comes out from here.
Oh, boy.
Oh, but it does get taken out. They do get the lead out of it. That is very explosive. Down to 31. This is exploitable though. They're wiped. They've lost mid control now. They have bad turf coverage, and all the Walkie Plankton needs to do to get a lead is 2 super claims. So this is going to be pretty rough here. Sidean with the bubbles ready, can pop them at any minute and is set up in the place to use them from. Bubbles are coming out. Looks like Ray's going to come in from behind. Atomic is going to try and do something nasty with the Brella shield, but does...
Missed that, nice.
And Medical gets the double snipe. Sidean gets picked up by Yasuna. That is a successful defense out of what looked like a completely dumb play.
I was quite worried when I saw those bubbles coming in, but Medical pulling through, the whole team just sort of coordinating there.
Atomic just launched shield, walked into the bubbles with the shield out, goes down, and then Medical gets a double out of it. What? How does that work?
Oh, jeez. Alright, well, we have one down on Midnight right now. We have a Stingray coming out. Interesting timing, but we do have a hammer as well.
Yes, I think there's a lot of specials going on. Oh, if that hit that jump in, that would have been wonderful. Why is the jumping?
Nice work.
Oh, that was interesting. Atomic in a pretty bad spot now, pretty much pinced it. But with only 30 seconds left, this is still looking pretty good for. Oh, that is not so good. Getting the splat bomb onto Medical there, that is rough.
That severely limits how well Midnight are going to be able to defend there because they don't have that
it's looking really rough.
The
The
hammer
shaded
coming
flank
out.
here does manage to take out Medical here, but the splat bombs come in, stop the bubbles.
Oh, that's a
Shady
wipe!
managed to get them. Yeah, that is what a stamp does in this match.
Oh, and the double ball.
But they don't have any clams up just yet. No, Medical can't get that magical snipe to stop that from happening.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's like as soon as I saw the hammer coming from left while all of Midnight was on basket, I just knew that was going to be a disaster.
Yeah.
there was no way that wasn't going to happen.
Hammering in enclosed area like that, especially when they're already on the track and they don't need to turn very much.
Yeah,
that was going to get a few splats. So
I think a lot of these matches came down to just Midnight really couldn't maintain turf control against Matthew. Like that junior just really pushed their comps into awkward positions, and I think there was also just some really solid objective play coming from Walk the Plankton here. You know, some great stuff all around.
Yeah,
those were closer than you'd think they would be, though. That's for certain.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what we were going to see out of that when we went into it, but it wasn't quite that, I think. But I'm really glad that we spectated it because that was a very interesting matchup and definitely going to be helpful for seeding, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else are we going to come through? So we had Gale Force 3-0'd Too Fast to Woomy, Venomous 3-0'd of 11k below, and Atlantic 3-0'd Team Me Turner, apparently. So we're just waiting on Nameless vs Giga at the moment. We're almost done. So
yeah, that'll be the end of it. I guess might as well double check if any other scores have been reported. So far we've got Gale Force 3-0 Too Fast to Umi, and Atlantic 3-0 Team Eterna. Venomous Squids 3-0 11k below. Team Midnight obviously went 1-3 to Walk the Plankton. All we're waiting on now is Nameless and Giga Squad, and that'll be the end of the seeding.
Yeah. Well, it's been 3.5 hours, so I was spot on with my estimate earlier. I'm glad I'm getting better at that. Also, thank you to the anonymous in chat earlier who was gifting some subs. I have some guesses who that might be, but you know. Also, Mesh, thank you very much for resubbing and also for gifting some subs. Do appreciate it a lot. Enjoy your rhubarb emotes, everyone who has those now. I guess that is probably should be the end of the stream.
Yeah. Obviously, if you're interested in what the results of Nameless and Giga Squid is, just check out the seeding results channel in the Oceanink series, because we'd just be announcing it on stream anyway. We don't have any footage, so not much reason to keep the stream up just to wait for that.
Yeah, and if anyone is looking to register and hasn't yet, individual registrations closed tomorrow night. Team registrations closed Friday night off the top of my head. You'd think I'd know that, but no. Okay, yes, 11 p.m. Friday AST. We have the other seeding tournament on at 6 p.m. next Saturday. So yes, if you're wanting to register, wanting to sign up for seeding, anything like that, please do that. We have quite a few teams signed up, so it should be a good season this time around.
All right. In case, it looks like that'll be the wrap-up. So once again, we've been the stream team. I've been your host. Calamar's been the co-host for the last 2 rounds. Special thanks to Hess for organizing the stream, and for Andrew for doing a lot of background recordings to help with making sure all of the results make sense for us, and we can judge where the placement should be clearly. Also, thanks to Kat, obviously, for recording some of them earlier as well. Let's feel the thanks for the stream team, and obviously thanks for everyone who played in this. It really helps to be able to get accurate enough data for how teams match up against each other, and to make sure that the series runs nice and smoothly without any kind of ridiculous skill gaps within tiers, etc. So yeah, it's always great to make sure that you're doing this.
Yeah. I believe seeding last season, which I think was the first time we did 2 seeding tournaments, took us about half as long as it usually does. So we do really appreciate everyone entering these and giving us as much data as possible so that we can accurately seed people.
Speaking of data, should we mention that, or should we save that for another stream?
Ooh. Probably another one, I think.
Yeah.
Let's sort that out a little bit more. But yeah, I guess yes, there are things in the works. Keep an eye out. There are lots of things in the works at the moment, so it should be an interesting season, that's for sure. All right. Thank you for watching, everyone. We'll hopefully see you next Saturday at Sydney Tournament number 2. Yeah. Bye.
See you, everyone.